A lot of people did not expect them to be there despite their lofty record. They had to beat one of the best teams in the state in Toms River South, a game which head coach Gary Hay calls perhaps the greatest victory in the program's history.
Got a great pitching performance in that game, a game they won as an underdog. This is a team right now that has a lot of momentum, and it's a team that represents the Cape Conference, Ed. A conference that has not had too many South Jersey titles. Today's their first time in a long time to get a title.
The last time the Cape Atlantic won a public league championship was 1983, in which Absegami and Cumberland both won in the same year. They'll be taking on the Central Regional Golden Eagles. Tad, Central was a team, despite their #1 seeding, a lot of people didn't think would be here. But when you go 19-5, forget about the schedule you play. You must be doing something right.
Well, we talked to a couple reporters, and all the printed information said they really haven't played anybody up to this point. But again, they got the #1 seed. They're in the championship game, featuring one of their best pitchers, a left-handed pitcher. Now, that's something that may be in their advantage, because as a batter, Ed, you don't get to face a lot of left-handed batters, and the ball moves and does things differently than a right-handed pitcher. So we'll keep an eye on that and how the Mainland hitters adjust.
Jesse Gorman, a tough customer for Southern Regional. For Mainland, it will be Frank Vittorio on the mound. Tad, Scott Zadina, in the eyes of many, considered the ace of this team. He's used up his innings. However, Vittorio certainly has pitched as well as the #1 pitcher all year.
He's only lost one game, Ed. He's 5-1. His one loss of the year came against Millville in a tough 3-0 decision. So he's a very capable pitcher. But we talked about it in our game you saw earlier here in TSM. The first inning, very important. You have to get off to a good start. The pitcher of the home team, Central's, got to come out and throw strikes, relieve the nerves. Mainland's got to come out and find a way to manufacture a run early, Ed.
All right, Central Regional looking to continue with its Cinderella season. Mainland looking to bring home the first Cape Atlantic Public Championship in 16 years. Mainland and Central Regional for the Group 3 Championship coming up next. Ed Bankin and Tad Kozaneski back here at Southern Regional High School, just about set to get underway. The South Jersey Group 3 Championship between the Mainland Mustangs and the Golden Eagles of Central Regional. Mainland will be the visiting team since they did have the 3rd seed. Central the #1 seed, so they will be the home team. Mainland coming to bat first as we see the Central Regional Golden Eagles getting ready. Let's check the starting batting order for the Mainland Mustangs. Leading off will be center fielder R.J. Lindquist. Scott Zadina, the third baseman, will bat second. Pitcher Frank Vittorio will hit third today. Al Blaserski, the first baseman, bats fourth. Mike Granari in left field will hit fifth. Tony Giuliano catching and hitting sixth. DH is Joe Carver. He will bat seventh. Chris Jonick at second base will bat eighth. And Rich Nupp, who made one of the greatest catches anyone has ever seen in the semifinal against Toms River South, will bat in the #9 position. Defensively for the Golden Eagles, MJ Taha at first. Chris Ecke at second base, Elwood Stallings at short, Chris Nye at third, Wayne Seaman in left field, Frank Permicelli, in center field, and John Lewis will be in right field. Josh Norton doing the catching for pitcher Jesse Gorman.
And Ed, Jesse Gorman on the year, a left-hander, 6-2 on the year, and this is a pretty pitchers-friendly ballpark here at Southern Regional. The wind is blowing out the right field. It's 319 down the left field line, 398 to center, and then 319 into right field. So it's going to take a pretty good shot to get one out of here.
And Tad, as you mentioned, the wind blowing in, a slight breeze, but blowing in nonetheless. But this is a friendly hitter's park. It will probably, I know we'll probably jinx ourselves. We probably won't see too many home runs today, but who knows?
We said that earlier in the broadcast in that softball game.
And we had never seen a home run go over the fence at the new Washington Township softball field, and sure enough, we saw one yesterday. The Mainland Mustangs, a team that a lot of people thought coming in this year, as you see the dimensions, really were going to be a good team, but maybe not as strong as the team last year, which lost in the finals to Toms River South. But this is a team, as you said, they put it together at the right time. They're doing the two things, according to Coach Gary Hay, that you need to win ball games. They're pitching and they're playing great defense.
It's all it takes. That's why you're here. And it's kind of funny, Ed, as we saw that shot of the two people sitting by the backstop out there. Went memories of 2 years ago for the Washington Township softball fans. That was actually the field they won in a dramatic game here on TSM.
2-1 over Cherokee that year at softball. And Central Regional, a team coming in that certainly, with their record 19-5, shows that they have a lot to be reckoned with. Head coach Bob Rudder has a team that's brought in. The last time they won a championship was 1984, and Tad, there's a guy by the name of Al Leiter pitching for that team.
Al Leiter, a heck of a player, and both these teams, again, fighting some history today with that.
Central Regional 1984, as we said, was their last championship. This year they defeated West Effort 8-2 in the opening game, then defeated Egg Harbor Township in a hard-fought semifinal match 4-2. EHC actually got 2 runs to start the game, but then Central took the lead in the bottom of the first, and they never looked back. For Mainland, they defeated number 11 Williamstown and then defeated Toms River South in that memorable game 4-2, a game which It was a game that not only vindicated the championship loss to Towns River South, but I think for people wondering how strong the Cape is and if Mainland really belonged at that level, they proved a lot to a lot of people.
There's a guy that has a lot to do with it, Gary Hay, the head coach down at third base for Mainland today. And Ed, as we talked in the stand-up here, especially when you come in the underdog, you want to get something started here in the top of the first.
We are just about ready to go, and there is our man behind the plate today as we are set for this championship game. Glad you could be with us here on TSM, our second championship of the day. Everybody on their feet on both dugouts as we get set to go as Lindquist will stand in. R.J. Lindquist leading off with an average of .356 on the season, 4 doubles, 1 home run, 12 RBIs, and is certainly a threat to run when he gets on base.
He also leads the team, Ed, in runs scored, so that tells you he's been on base a great deal.
Here we go. Gorman ready to deliver to Norton as Lindquist is ready. First pitch of the South Jersey Group 3 Championship is over for a called strike.
And that's a good sign for a pitcher in that last pitch. That ball was down below the knees, and the ump called it for a strike.
So 1 strike to count to R.J. Lindquist. The spark plug of this lineup really does a lot from that leadoff spot. Swung on a miss. He has struck out 15 times this year, has walked just 8 times. 31 hits for this man on the season. Missing inside for a ball, 1-2 the count.
Looks like so far Gorman has pretty good control of his pitches.
Yeah, he does not walk a lot of hitters. He's a pretty good control pitcher. Sidearm delivery, and it's grounded towards second base. Ecke bobbles it, has to make the quick throw to first, and gets it in time for the out.
The advantage of playing second base, Ed, you can take your time, get in front of it. Good job there by Ecke to do that and get the out. On an interesting delivery, as you mentioned on the sidearm, when you throw that, it's going to go down and in on the right-handed batter.
Scott Zadina, the third baseman, standing in. .324 is his average on the year. Has walked 19 times, that is second on the club. Has 2 home runs on the year, 17 runs batted in. Takes that one for a ball. And Zadina, of course, Tad, was masterful on the mound earlier in the week.
Been a key reason why this team is as well as they have been successful. He's 9-2 as a pitcher. Has struck out 90 batters, Ed, in 70 innings.
Inside for a ball, 2-0 the count to Zadina.
The first thing you notice about him is how tall he is. He's got to be 6'5", 6'6" as he comes to the plate.
Laid off that pitch nicely, 3-0 the count to Zadina. Will probably get a red light here, especially with the red-hot hitting Frank Vittori up next. He will be taking on 3-0, and that's over for a called strike. 3-1 now, the count to Zadina. Fastball, and that's popped up in the air towards the right side. Ecke, the second baseman, giving it a look, fighting the sun, and puts it away for out number 2.
It's a real good point, Ed. Looking up straight into the high sun, we have no clouds here today. And besides the fact it's about 85 degrees with little breeze blowing, when you're looking up in that sun, it can be awful tough to pick up the ball. Good job by Ecke.
2 up and 2 down. Good job by Gorman to start the first. And here is Frank Vittori stepping in, a .485 hitter on the season. This guy can do it all when he gets on the base path as well. He's second on the team with 24 stolen bases, second on the team with 27 runs batted in, 3 triples, 3 homers, and 4 doubles on the year. And he looks at that breaking ball for a strike. Vittori, of course, will be on the mound today. Has been a number 2 pitcher, but also, as we've said, has pitched as well as any number 1 in South Jersey. Fastball, all right over the plate for a second strike, 0-2. Fastball, and that's hit high into the air in right center field. Now the right fielder Lewis is under it, and he puts it away to end the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Jesse Gorman and Central Regional here in the first. No runs, hits, or errors, and none left. We move to the bottom of the first. It's Mainland nothing, Central coming to bat. So Central Regional will come to bat. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Golden Eagles of Central Regional. Chris Ecke, the second baseman, will lead it off. John Lewis in right field will bat second. Josh Norton catching, he will hit third. Jesse Gorman, the pitcher, will bat in the cleanup spot. Frank Primicelli, the center fielder, will bat fifth. Scott Taylor, the DH, will be in the number 6 spot. Chris Nye at third base bats 7th. Wayne Seaman, the left fielder, bats 8th. And MJ Taha will be in the number 9 position. For Mainland defensively, Al Baserski at first base, Chris Jonick at second, Al Pareja at shortstop, Scott Zadina at third, Mike Granieri in left field, R.J. Lindquist in center, Rich Knupp in right field. Tony Giuliano doing the catching for pitcher Frank Vittori. Vittori on the year has been very impressive.
Yeah, he comes in with a 5-1 record, 3.60 ERA. He's pitched in 37 innings. In those 37 innings, has given up 34 runs, 25 of them were earned. And again, in the 37 innings, has struck out 25 and walked 20.
There you see Vittori, and Scott Zadina, as we mentioned at the top of our telecast, has used up his innings, so if they had to go to the bullpen, the only other candidate would be their second baseman, Chris Jonick, but you get the feeling talking to Coach Hay and talking to some of the Mustangs that this is basically his game to lose. He's going to get a chance to stay out there as long as possible.
Well, that's what you hope for today. You hope your starter can go a long way because, again, if you can get by this game, you still have a couple more games to play here in the state championship.
And that's something the winner, as ecstatic as they would be today of winning the championship, would have to worry about, as they have two games coming up next week. So the way Mainland's pitching would go, if they were to win today, they would probably have Zadina on Tuesday and then Vittori pitching the next game with Zadina available in relief. And Central almost in the same situation with their two top pitchers. Well, a lot of people are a little surprised at this matchup. However, both teams certainly earned the right to be here. Central came in at number one, 19-5. We were talking to people that, as you said, they really haven't played too many top teams, but head coach Bob Rutter, he has gotten his team to play game in and game out, and they had a big semifinal win over Egg Harbor Township. Done a fine job with this team. They were 6-12 last year and out of the playoffs, and here they are playing for the championship. So we're ready to go as Chris Ecke, the second baseman, will lead it off. Ecke on the season batting at .342. Heading to Stevens Institute after the season is over. He is ranked third in his class, so a bright leadoff hitter for the Golden Eagles. First pitch missing up high for a ball, 1-0. Tori's job, keep it the strike zone. He struck out 25 and has walked 20. Up high for a ball, 2-0 to count. It's where you wonder, too, if nerves can be a factor for someone pitching their first title game.
I'd be nervous the first few pitches, Ed.
Pours that one over for a strike. It's 2-1.
And you saw it, I think, on that second pitch when he overthrew it a little bit.
Up high for a ball. 3-1 the count to Ecke. Just underway, bottom of the first. No score. Mainland Central Regional for the Group 3 championship. 3-1 pitch way up high, ball 4, and Ecke works the leadoff walk as the Central Regional dugout makes some noise.
You can see Vittori out there, and he doesn't quite have a classic pitcher's throw. He almost throws the ball like an infielder, and we'll try and give you a shot of that a little later in this inning.
So here is John Lewis, the right fielder. He stands in with an average on the season, which we'll get to in just a second here, but first, as we see getting ready to come to the box, you see it's a perfect day as we talked about weather-wise. Lewis is batting at .388 on the season. Basketball player for Central as well. First pitch is over for a called strike, and we'll keep an eye on Ecke at first base, who is a threat to run. 0-1 the count to John Lewis. Good lead by Ecke over at first base. And smartly, Vittori steps off the mound.
It'll be interesting to see, Ed, if Central tries to manufacture a run either by a steal or some type of hit and run here.
Breaking ball just dropped out of the strike zone. It's 1-1.
You think a lot of those Group 4 teams that we've seen include Gloucester Catholic in the mix. When they get somebody on the first inning, they'll try and bunt them and move them along to get that first run in.
Runner does not go, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Good fastball, 1-2. So 1-2 the count to John Lewis. Ecke leading off at first base. Ecke getting a fairly good lead, as you see, off first base. Does not go, and the 1-2 pitch is popped up towards the right side. That'll go foul, out of play. It's a beautiful sports complex in general here at Southern Regional, not just for baseball, but for all their sports.
It really nicely groomed. The infield looks to be in great shape right now. Nice green grass out here. The only problem is that we're in the middle of God's country down here. We're in the middle of nowhere. but it's always fun to get down here and see a big game.
Breaking ball missing inside. It's 2-2. Of course, Cape Atlantic sports fans might be familiar. This is the school where former Buena football coach Chuck Donahue has come to coach. Southern is a Group 4 school. Already turning that program around. High and tight. It's a full count, 3-2.
And again, as I'm watching Fattori pitch, Ed, you'll watch his right arm. We'll try and give you a little ISO on this a little later in the game. Really short arms the ball. Doesn't come with the full circle like most pitchers do.
Heck he goes. Pitch misses inside, ball 4. So Fattori walks the first 2 hitters, and it's first and second for Central Regional with nobody out.
Well, this is almost where one of your teammates has to call timeout and just come in and talk to you. How's it going? Hey, what's going on this weekend? Try and relax you a little bit here.
So the catcher, Josh Norton, will stand in. Norton on the season, a big year for Central at .397, heading to St. Peter's at the end of his school year. Fastball missing up high, 1-0.
And speaking from experience, Ed, when you walk a couple batters, you really start to think on the mound, and it really makes it hard to throw. You just don't do what comes naturally, and hopefully Fattori isn't going through that right now.
Up high, 2-0 the count. When he's been missing high. So 2-0 the count to Norton, runners at first and second. Fastball, that's over for a strike. It's 2-1.
But still in, Ed, again, high above the belt there. Got to be careful. He's got to work to try and bring this ball down below the belt.
That's pop foul. Another pitch that was a bit high, fouled back, so the count now even at 2-2 to Norton.
He got a break on that one as Norton saw that one coming up at his eyeballs and took a big cut at it.
Tough pitch to lay off on, especially on a day like this. Even though the breeze is blowing in just a little bit, it's not a strong breeze, so the breeze has died down, may carry a little bit on the day. Now the wind picks up a little bit with the count 2-2. Fastball just missed a bit low. It's a full count. First and second for Central. Nobody out, bottom of the first, no score. Fastball ripped high into the air in deep center field. Lindquist going way back, way back, and he makes the catch. Great job by Lindquist to haul it in, moving up to third and tagging Ezeki. But a big out right there as Lindquist, another defensive hero from the last game, makes the play.
Norton just got under that one there. As you look at Lindquist in center field, he got a great jump on the ball, turned, went to the fence, found the ball, made a nice catch. That was not an easy play to make. You can see here, he sprints back, gets in great position, now kind of cruises under, and that's fairly close to the fence. A lot of high school fields, Ed, that's a home run.
It's about 390 feet. 398 to get out. Pitcher Jesse Gorman will try to help himself. He's done that all year. He's batting at .535 on the season. We'll be heading to Brookdale at the end of this year. Looks at the first pitch up high, 1-0. Runners at the corners, one out here in the inning for Central, no score.
This is where you have to be heads up as a defensive players with first and third here with one out. A lot of things can happen.
Fastball, that's over for a strike. It's 1-1. Large Mainland crowd and Central crowd here on both sides. Of course, a little closer to Central Regional than Mainland, but pretty good crowd here so far, as you can see on the side. Ground ball over to shortstop. This could be two. Berea to second base. One back over to first base. In time, double play. Mainland gets out of the inning with a twin killing, and that retires the side. No runs, hits, or errors. One left on. Mainland fans whooping it up. No score after one.
Here it is again on the instant replay. See Perea gets the ball over here to Jonick. Now, Jonick must have had trouble picking the ball out of his glove. He took a lot of time here, but got a lot on it. That's the key, and made a strong throw. And you can see there he's out by about a step and a half.
Here's Al Pasarski. He'll lead things off for Mainland. Batting at .353 on the air, and he rips one high into the air in right field. Give me a look as John Lewis, the right fielder, he's got room near the fence. He makes the catch. So that's one out here in the second inning.
Unfortunately, Al just got under that ball a little bit, and that's probably the one place you don't want to hit the ball here to right field with the wind slightly blowing in. especially from right field.
Here comes Mike Granieri to the plate. Left fielder on the season is batting at .434. Has 24 RBIs. That is third on the team as he looks at one for a ball. 6 home runs on the season. That leads the team. And so far, we've seen a couple balls go to the fence today. Missing outside for a ball.
You can really see how Granieri, when he stands and holds the bat on this angle, he keeps his hands really low and tight to his body.
Hits the next pitch, a fastball down the right field side, out of play.
And that's classically what happens when a batter keeps his hands close to his body in the position there. You're usually going to hit the ball the opposite way.
Looks at one outside for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2. Fastball ripped down the right field side, and that is a foul ball.
He's a batter, Ed. If I'm pitching, I try and keep the ball away from this guy, because if you get something inside, he may be able to get something on it. But just by the way he holds the bat in the position, it's going to be tough for him to get around. Unless you get one inside off the plate, I don't think he'll be able to hit it.
Breaking ball and a beauty, and Granieri does a nice job to foul it back. Granieri, along with Frank Vittori, doing some damage this year on the football field. Granieri, the quarterback, and Vittori, of course, the workhorse fullback for this Mainland team.
Mainland team always puts an outstanding football team on the field, Ed, and that game we saw earlier in the year is just a lot of fun with them in Ocean City.
Tried to check his swing on the high fastball and fouled it straight back. Yeah, those two have a great rivalry and everything, and we were talking about teams of the year in South Jersey. Ocean City certainly qualifies, but Mainland's been right there, too.
You could see there Gorman tried to bust him inside. It was very hard for Granieri to get around.
Fastball outside. Good job by Granieri to work the one-out walk.
That's a great at-bat by Granieri, fighting off some pitches fouled and getting a one-out base runner on the walk.
So Mainland has their first base runner of the afternoon as Tony Giuliano will come to the plate. Giuliano batting at .392 on the season.
And you really have to watch Granieri at first base, Ed. He has 8 steals on the year.
And that pitch is snubbed into shallow right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Granieri will take a look at second and hold there as he scampers back in. First and second for the Mustangs with one out.
Great job of hitting by Giuliano, kind of the inside-out swing. That's a nice play in right field by Lewis because it took a crazy hop. It looks like we'll get a pinch runner now.
And the Mustang fans, and the Mustang players rather, talking it up a little bit. So we'll get a pinch runner now for Mainland. Is coming in as Joe Howarth. He'll run as Joe Carver comes to the plate. Looks at the breaking ball for a strike. The DH on the year is hitting at .324. Not too many low averages on this Mustang squad. First and second for Mainland, one out. Fastball missing low, 1-1 the count to Carver.
I think Gorman's starting to realize he can't put the first pitch fastball in there. That last hit he gave up to Giuliano sat on the fastball, and Bolerski sat on the fastball as well.
Breaking ball, foul tip, it's 1-2. Good pitch that time by Gorman.
Not only does it change speed, but it really moves out there.
Gorman, when he's been successful this year, has done a nice job of getting both pitches over, and he's been able to do that for the most part today. Up high for a ball, evens the count at 2-2. Mainland fans really starting to make some noise in this inning.
They realize how important this is in the top of the second inning with no score. It's so much easier, Ed, to play with the lead, even if it's one run.
Fastball struck him out. Good pitch by Gorman for out number 2.
And that's basically because he did a great job of mixing up his pitches. And Carver there had to respect the fastball and the curve. He came with the fastball on the outside corner, and Carver just wasn't able to catch up to it.
Here's the second baseman, Chris Johnny, coming to the plate at .291 on the season. Does have one long ball on the air. Make that 2 home runs, 3 doubles as well. 2 outs, 2-1 for the Mustangs. Top of the second, no score. Group 3 championship. Fastball missing high and outside, 1-0.
We have a saying on the team that I play for, Ed, 2-out hits win championships, and let's see if Johnny can come up with one here.
Breaking ball missing up high. So good job by Jonick to work the count to 2-0.
Well, if he gets a green light, you know you're probably getting a fastball here. This is a great hitter's pitch.
Fastball, he got it, but what a pitch by Gorman. The best fastball of the day so far.
I think that's great strategy by Coach Hay to let him take a rip there. You know the fastball's coming. He got a great cut.
2-1 the count now to Johnny. High fastball, chased it, it's 2-2. When Gorman has reached back here and found something those last two pitches.
And it also handcuffed Jonick. That was high and inside. If I'm catcher Josh Norton, I come right back with that fastball right in at the hands.
So 2-2, Granary at second, Howard the pinch runner at first, 2 out. Fastball on the inside corner struck him out. Jonick didn't like the call, but that retires the side. So Gorman gets out of it with 2 strikeouts for the Mustangs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Inning and a half in the books here at Southern Regional. The score, Mainland nothing, Central Regional nothing. Here's Frank Primicelli, the center fielder, standing in. Rips at the first pitch high into the air in center field. Lindquist will give it a look, going back, has a little trouble with it, but makes the catch.
It's a little tough for Lindquist to judge because that hit was more on the line. It kind of pierced through the wind, and it kind of carried more than I think Lindquist thought it was going to.
That's what the ball has been doing so far, which has surprised some. Primicelli, by the way, who just flied out there, fans will be able to see him at Stockton next year.
You can see him kind of adjusting at the last second, just got that glove up where it had to be. Looks pretty solid out there. RJ doing a nice job. He's made a couple catches today.
1 up, 1 down. Here's Scott Taylor to the plate. He's batting at .400 on the year. Looks to 1 for a strike. Taylor will be going to Rutgers next year to play his baseball. When you're batting .400, you can go to Rutgers to play. So 1 strike to count to Taylor. Breaking ball grounded over to first base. Good grab by Balcerski. He'll take it himself for out number 2.
It's a real nice pitch by Fattori there. Not only did it curve it, but he really took a lot off it. So way out in front of that was Taylor, and he kept it low, so Taylor had to hit it into the ground. Real nice pitch by Fattori.
2 up, 2 down, and Chris Nye steps to the plate. He's hitting at .287. Also a swimmer in the offseason for baseball, so when he gets around the base, he's got good lung capacity going around third. Fouls the first pitch straight back. Well, both pitchers, it seems like, have settled down. Gorman actually had the 1-2-3 inning to start. Looked sharp right from the start, but now Fattori seems to be settling down. As we mentioned, it is his game today for Mainland. Pitch missing high and inside. It's 1-1.
And the pressure will depend on the makeup of the young man. You know it's your game to go the distance. He knows basically Coach wants to ride him out as much as he can. Now, a lot of pitchers like that, but other pitchers don't like to have that added pressure knowing there's no relief from the bullpen.
Fastball, and that's pop foul over our palatial TSM broadcast truck out of play. Our truck took some hits yesterday in our softball championship. Of course, the setup at Washington Township Park pretty close to the field as we get the swing.
Pretty nice cut there.
Got under it and fouled it back. That's pop foul out of play again, so the count remains 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on base for Central. We're in the bottom of the second. No score. Group 3 title on the line today. Fastball, and that's it. Fairly deep in the air. Right field could find some room. Giving chase is Nubb, but it is a foul ball. You see Nubb right near the line, and ball landed within playing distance, even though it was in foul territory.
And Nubb was playing over towards left center field, and he had a long run for that. So Fattori better be careful with the balls off the plate to this young man.
Nubb, the catch he made against Times River South, unfortunately, not only was it not broadcast anywhere, but there was also, as far as we know, nobody shooting on home video. So Coach Gary Hay looking for someone who's got that what he calls maybe the greatest catch he's ever seen. Leaping at a high fence to reach over and take away a home run. Breaking ball, that misses up high, 2-2.
It's interesting, too, on that pitch, Nupp moved way over to right field. Lindquist is straight away. There's a lot of room over second baseman Jonick's head.
Fastball missing up high, so a good job by Nye to work it to a full count, 3-2. With the 8 and 9 hitters scheduled to start next inning, if Vittori can get this out, this is the batter he wants to get, full 3-2. Popped up in the infield, should be an easy play, now going to foul territory. Who wants it? Balcerski, and he puts it away to end the inning. So he gets 2 straight unassisted putouts, and Central down in order here in the second. No runs, hits, or errors, and none left. 2 innings complete in the South Jersey Group 3 Championship. No score between Mainland and Central. Third inning action set to go, and taking over for play-by-play is Tad Kazaneski.
Thank you, Ed. It'll be 9-1-2. Nupp, Lindquist, and Zadina for Mainland. No scores. We start the third. Nupp playing right field, hitting .366 in the year, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. Swings through that, 1 strike.
And we talked about the catch he made, one where he had to leap over the fence and make the play. It was really the play of the game in that victory over Toms River South, in a game that had a lot of great defensive plays by Mainland.
1 strike pitch to Nupp. This one's hit up the middle and has eyes into center field, so a leadoff single for the 9th hitter, Rich Nupp. It's the 2nd hit of the game for the Mustangs.
Oh, why not? It's been his week, and Nupp got a pitch to hit. Gorman put it over the plate, and Nupp, the number 9 hitter, hitting .366, so he's no stranger to the base path.
Now we turn it up to the top half of the lineup. Here's R.J. Lindquist, the center fielder, hitting .356 in the year. He's 0 for 1 in this game with the ground. Now, this could be a bunting situation. I don't know if Lindquist has sacrificed this year. I think if I'm Coach Hay, I'd lay the bunt down here and move the runner. He's going to swing away. Swings and hits it deep to right field. So much for a bunt there. It's back and it's gone. 2-run home run, R.J. Lindquist. And the Mustangs take the lead 2-0.
Well, Tad, I agree with your logic, and that's why we're sitting here, and Gary Hayes over at third base. How about R.J. Lindquist with some pop in his bat, just his 2nd home run of the year. He got a high fastball, and he didn't miss it.
And he hit it hard the opposite way, Ed. As we mentioned, down the line, it's .319, and he got that well over the right field fence. 2-0, Mainland Mustangs lead it here in the top of the third. Scott Zadina 0 for 1 with a flyout. Takes a curve in there for a strike, and that leads back to that first pitch fastball. Ed, we've seen a couple hits first pitch fastball. He sat on the fastball and crushed it. And wisely on the first pitch to Zadina, Gorman realizes that, Ed, and comes in with the curve.
And a big boost for Mainland. When you get on a championship run, not that you don't have good players who don't do it all year, but you have some players do some unexpected things, and Lindquist, not a home run hitter in a tough park, takes one out the opposite way.
That is his 2nd home run of the year. Pulled foul past Coach down into the Mainland crowd you see beyond us in the distance.
Coach Hay is a great guy to be around. He loves the game of baseball, and is excited, and I think his enthusiasm carries across to his players.
This is popped up, should be a play for Ecke. He's back, fights the sun, and that is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that sun right now for the second baseman and for the right fielder is going to be difficult because it's above the left field, the third base side rather. So for fielders on that side of the field, it's going to be difficult for some pop flyers. They're going to have to fight it a little bit.
Here's pitcher Frank Vittori. He's 0 for 1 with the flyout, hitting .485 in the year. 4 doubles, 3 triples, 3 homers, and 27 runs batted in. He leads the team in just about every category. Also has 31 runs scored and 24 stolen bases. I don't think there's much he doesn't do.
Drives the bus.
He's also pitching today.
And he seems to have settled down now with his pitching motion as well. Gorman, after you see that pitch right there, he's had some fastballs where he's able to put a little extra zip on it, but hasn't been able to maintain it, and as you said, not on the first pitch.
It's a curve low, and it gets away from Norton. And again, that's something you watch from the dugout, and I think it's something the Mainland players have picked up on, because I'd say 8 out of the first 10 batters Gorman faced, first pitch was a fastball. Fastball here up the middle. This may have eyes. It does. Gets into center field for a hit, so Faturi's on with his first hit of the game.
When you have numbers like Frank Faturi, you get a couple of those too. And he'll go in the books as a line drive, but Faturi just chopped that one, put it in the right spot. This field, and we'll watch the replay again, see it bouncing. This field is in very nice condition here at Central Regional. The grass is really cut nicely, so you got some true hops you saw right there. Just found a hole, but Ted, I've seen some bounces so far today. I don't think there'll be any tricky hops for the infielders.
With one out and Faturi at first, here's Al Bilerski. Runner is going, gets a great jump, and stealing that base. Oh, they're going to call him out on that. Wow, I thought Faturi had that beat. We'll hopefully get another look at that. He's out for the second out.
Well, Bilerski does his job, takes a look at that pitch, and it looked like Faturi had it. I'll tell you, that was a great throw by Josh Norton.
He's in there, Ed.
And he was in there. Norton threw it right where he should, but you see his feet getting in.
Fortunately, the ump wasn't on the same page, so a break there for Central. 2 outs now to Bilerski. That's high. Bilerski in this game 0 for 1 with the flyout, hitting .353 on the year.
And Bilerski is a smart hitter at the plate, will not chase many pitches.
Apologize to you, Al. I'm a ski myself. Bilerski. Belsurski, that's it. I'll get it right. Get that C in there for you.
Bilerski does a lot of good things, too, defensively. Plays a real solid first base.
So 2 runs in the inning on the home run by Lindquist. It's 2-0 Mainland. It's off the plate for a ball. 3-1.
That's a big boost for Gorman, too. He gives it that 2-run home run, gets the pop out. Then after that single where he made a good pitch to get that throw out at second base, a big boost for him.
Hit up the middle. Diving by it is Stallings. That'll be a single ball for Balcerski. That is the 4th hit in the inning, Ed.
Now, that stolen base really hurts Mainland. That stolen base attempt, but Mainland hitters right now getting into their groove, and we talked about nerves in the championship. Mustang batters not showing that right now. This is a good hitting team top to bottom, as you've heard for our averages, and they've had to beat some tough teams this year in their own division, and of course they had to beat Toms River South to get here. They're getting clutch hits at the right time all year.
So 2 outs in Balcerski at first base. Here's Mike Granieri, the left fielder. He walked in his first at bat, hitting .434, 6 doubles, 2 triples. He leads the team in homers with 6 and 24 runs batted in. And
this Mainland team, we saw them once this year on TSM. Probably is they called it not one of their better games. They were beaten by Holy Spirit, but they have turned it around since then.
Low for a ball. It's 1-0. 4 hits in the inning on 2 runs. In the top of the third, Mainland leads at 2-0. Pick off the first. Back in safely.
Right now, situation with 2 outs, you wonder if Bilerski might be thinking about taking off here. He does have 3 stolen bases.
It's an okay lead at first. Curve is high.
The other thing, too, is sometimes it's tough when you got that left-handed pitcher up there. You're not used to seeing a lefty. You don't get that big a lead at first.
Back to first again, high throw.
Gorman, when there's been runners on the base pass, hasn't really worried about them too much as going after the hitters, so probably wise to do that here with the tough hitting Granieri up at the plate. He's got 2 outs in the inning.
Hit the opposite way, hooking foul, still hooking, and it is a foul ball.
See a lot of Mainland hitters taking it the opposite way. That's because you face a lefty who sometimes throws that 3/4 delivery. Either you wait on the pitcher, if it's thrown outside the plate, you kind of almost put an inside-out swing on it. That's why a lot of Mustang hitters are going with the pitch, taking it to right field.
Ball also will tail away. Ball will also tail away, Ed, from a right-handed batter. Big swing and a miss there.
I think Granieri wanted to put one where Lindquist put one, and he just overswung at the high fastball. Gorman has been able to get the high fastball for strikes at times.
Off-speed pitch, right field line, long run for Lewis. Lewis coming over to the fence and almost makes the play. I think if that fence is not there, Ed, he probably makes that catch.
And he's shaking up a little bit. That's a great effort by Lewis, and that's difficult with the fence right there. He had to be wary of the fence. Got his glove on it, but he hit the fence hard. Looks like he's going to be okay, but that's a tough play to make.
Yeah, running full speed as close as he was to the fence. I think he could be busy, though, as Granieri's hit a couple foul down that line. 2-2 the count. Fastball inside for a ball. 3-2.
Granieri now has to just protect the plate here on this pitch. Always has had a good eye at the plate.
3-2 pitch. Hits hard into center field, carrying, but right at the center field. Primicelli for the third out of the inning. But a big inning for Mainland as they get 2 runs in the inning on 4 hits. We move the home half of the third here on TSM. It is 2-0 Mainland.
And that breeze is starting to pick up a little more. It is a warm breeze, but it's blowing a little bit more now towards right field, and we've seen some balls carry out there.
Here's Wayne Seaman hitting .270 on the year, also a soccer player.
Let's see if Fattori pitches any differently with the lead now.
Biggest thing you want to do is just throw strikes. Get ahead. First pitch swinging and fouling it back is Seaman.
Well, he's got a good defense behind him. We've already seen the double play today, and you know, when a team gets to this point in the season, they have guys who can play defense in the field and can play it well. So when you're a pitcher, you throw strikes. Instead of these power pitchers, I see a lot of times teams win championships. Pitchers throw ground balls and pop-ups, and they let their fielders do the work.
1 strike pitch to Seaman. Strike 2.
And there it is. Fattori, remember, in the top of the first, started out a little wild, walked the first 2 batters, got behind the next hitter, almost gave up a home run, but has really settled down, gotten ahead of the hitters here.
0-2. High and inside, 1-2.
And, you know, when you're Frank Fattori, you've been through football championships and playoffs. You've been through pressure situations. That carries over as well to baseball.
1-2 to Wayne Seaman. Like a changeup almost, and I don't know where that was, Ed.
Neither do the Mainland fans. That looked like strike 3 as they voiced their opinion a little bit.
And the ump is looking over. That's a bad sign. 1-2. Chopped to short. Perea gets a bad hop, and that's going to be an error on the shortstop, Albert Perea.
Well, we'll see if that non-third strike call comes back to haunt Mainland. Perea, as you mentioned, got a bad hop. We talked about how good this field is. The one danger area if you're a shortstop is that cutoff area right there, and then it just took a little bit of a deflection off that area, and it got under the glove of Perea, who's not hitting today. He's in there for his defense.
Here's MJ Taha to the plate. Calling time for a second is Juliana, the catcher. Looks like Fattori wants a new ball.
That's the first error of the game for either team, and now Mainland has to forget about what they thought was strike 3 and go after the hitter here.
Taha batting in the 9th position, a .294 hitter. He is also a soccer player. Missing low, 1-0.
Of course, we saw the soccer championship in Group 3 this year as well, as Delsey defeated Ocean City 3-2 in a thrilling, chippy championship game.
The coach got to watch from the sidelines. Calling time is Taha.
And a smart decision there by the first base. You want the pitcher to work at your pace, so just takes a step back.
We're in the bottom half of the third inning here in TSM. It's 2-0 Mainland. Big hop here. This may find left field, and it does. A seeing eye single for MJ Maha, so the 8th and 9th hitters are on, leading off the bottom of the third.
That was almost an AstroTurf hop. That took a huge hop, but it found its way in for the first hit of the game for the Golden Eagles. But Fattori had runners at first and second, nobody out in the first, and got out of it. Has to do the same thing here.
Here's Stephen Ecke, the second baseman. He walked in the first inning, hitting .342 on the year. So Central Regional threatening here in the bottom of the third. 2 runners on, nobody out. They trail at 2-0. Long look at the signs by Fattori. Looks like we may see a bunt now. He's going to swing away. Taking it inside for a ball is Ecke.
Probably taking all the way there. He's the leadoff hitter. He's got 2 runners on, and he's squaring the bunt, trying to make the fielder think a little bit, and he takes the pitch. I think he'll be taken here again until he gets one. Now he pulls the bat back.
That's in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Interesting call here for Coach Rudder, Ed.
It's not a bad decision either way. You bunt, you get the runners over. Now, third baseman Scott Sedina is playing a long way back. He could try and bunt for a base hit here.
First baseman back as well. Pickoff played second, nothing on. You can see in that shot there's the third baseman, Zadina. He's beyond even with the bag.
I think Mainland is thinking that he was only squaring the bunt until he took a strike. I don't think they think the bunt is on right here, though. It could be.
Boy, all he has to do is get it down, and he's got a hit. He's done a bunt. Gets it first base side. Fielded beautifully on the play by Fattori, but the sacrifice is good. As Seaman moves to third, and Taha moves to second with one out.
That's a great play, and a good bunt that time by Enke, but a great play by Fattori. He's only going to get the one sure out. If he doesn't go get that ball, there's a good chance the bases are loaded, but he picked up on that right away. If he had bunted down to third base side, Tad, you're right, he could be in there, but a nice play by Fattori for the out. There it is again. See him get a good jump right off that mound and is able to put the tag on the runner. No reason to risk a throw over there.
With first base open, runners on second and third, one out. Here's the right fielder, John Lewis. He walked in his first at bat, hitting .388 on the year. So the tying run at second base, it's 2-0 Mainland here in the bottom of the third.
And you've got Norton on deck, who hit one about 390 feet for an out his first time up.
Fattori's going to go from the windup. Hits this hard to left center field, pretty deep, but it looks like it'll stay in the yard. Lindquist will catch it. Tagging at third is Seaman. He will score easily. Holding at second base on the play is Taha. It is now 2-1. Mainland holding the lead.
Lewis does his job, hits one high in the air, deep enough to bring the run home. It's a good job there by Lindquist. He didn't have the best throw in the world to get it in, but the Central players respecting the defense of Mainland, and so holding at second base is Taha, so that keeps what would be the tying run still at second base for Central Regional.
Here's Josh Norton. He's 0 for 1. He hit the ball a ton to center field, was out, though, in the first inning. A .397 hitter.
Hit it about that same distance, too.
Around 390 in that general vicinity. He's got some power. He's hitting in the third position today. 1-0.
And right now, if you're Fattori, you got Gorman on deck, who's a good hitter, but hitting to the double play. You may not want to give Norton too many good pitches to hit here. He might almost want to pitch around a little bit here, especially with 2 out.
1 run in, bottom of the third. Mainland leading at 2-1. Fattori really taking his time out there, as you can see, kind of waiting with him is Norton. That's inside for a ball.
Yeah, Fattori has been able to keep the ball down throughout these past couple of innings. Has to keep that up right here. You put the ball up against a hitter like Norton or Gorman on deck, it'll go a long way.
We both now we have a second base. Is he tying his shoe or fixing his shoe? Is Taha. So Norton back in. That's called a strike. 2-1.
Central bench does not agree with it, so maybe an even up pitch right there.
So 2-1 to Norton. That's high for a ball. 3-1.
And now again, Fattori, we mentioned, might still want to throw a breaking ball here. Might not want to keep it too close in the strike zone, even if you walk Norton, although a good hitter Gorman on deck. Don't want to give him anything to drive.
3-1 pitch. Big swing and a big drive to left field. Granieri retreats. It bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. So coming in to score is Taha. It's a ground rule double for Josh Norton, and we are tied at 2.
Well, he got down 3-1, and we said it, Tad. He could have pitched around him, but decided to give him a fastball right over the plate. And look at this swing right here. He didn't miss it. And you'll see in left field, Granieri gives it a look, and watch it bounce. This didn't miss going out by much, but it's a short fence, and you get a great look. You see it bounce over for a ground rule double, and didn't miss by much. That's a short bounce. Actually hit the warning track part.
Great job by the guys in the truck to show you inconclusively that was a ground rule double.
And I think Norton thought it was a home run. He started heading towards third, had to be sent back, but as you see, good call.
And that is a tough call for the umpire out there. The second base umpires to get out there made a nice call on it. We're going to get a pinch runner here now. This will be Tom King to run at second base. He'd be the lead run in the game if he can come in and score. As Jesse Gorman comes to the plate, he's 0 for 1. He grounded out into a double play in the first inning, hitting .535 on the year. That leads the team. 2 runs in the inning. We're tied at 2. That's out of play into the Mainland crowd.
And he was looking for first ball, fastball right there. He got it, but Fattori put it on the outside corner. Good pitch for Fattori to start Gorman out on.
Catcher Tony Giuliano on a hot afternoon here from Manahawkin, New Jersey. The South Jersey Group 3 checked that championship. Mainland and Central Regional tied at 2. Curveball gets away from Giuliano, an easy advance on the second base for King, on the third base for King. So he's at third with 2 outs.
Well, we've seen a lot of bouncy balls and some that have been going in for singles and a couple of infield singles. So that does make a difference at 2 out with the way the ball's been giving some high hops today.
And there's a lot of room behind home plate, so it puts a lot of pressure on Giuliano here to block the ball. Lead run at third. Bottom of the third, 2 outs. We're tied at 2. Now Fattori steps out.
Yeah, both the pitcher and the hitter want to work at their pace, so Fattori does a nice job of stepping off.
That's the lead run at third. It's away for a ball.
How about this Central team? We talked about how teams that play for championships, they get down, they get down on the scoreboard, but they don't get down mentally, and they answer right back here with the 2 spot looking for more.
This is where that error comes up to be big in this game. Pop fly, left field line. Looks like it'll go out of play, and it does. So technically, the run was unearned, Ed, because they would have had the third out of the inning. So both these runs are unearned.
And, of course, the Mainland fans thought before that ball that was hit to the shortstop for an error was a pitch that looked like it was a strike, and they were pretty upset about that. Well, one pitch, you never know, can make a difference in a game.
So again, we're in the third inning. It's the bottom half of the third, tied at 2. There are 2 outs, a runner at third. Jesse Gorman, the pitcher, trying to help himself. Curve is low. Nice block by Giuliano.
Yeah, that's a good job by Giuliano. He saw the ball was going low, got his body in front of it, and almost like a hockey goal, he squeezed the 5-hole there, kept it from trickling through.
Giuliano again has his work cut out for him here with the runner at third. This one's to the shortstop. Perea takes a crazy hop, but he blocks it in time to get the third out of the inning. But damage done in the inning as they get 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits. A costly error as both those runs are unearned. After 3 full here from Southern Regional, we are tied at 2.
Big to Lenape in the Diamond Classic, and I'm sure they'd love to get a chance at Gloucester Catholic in the South Jersey Championship.
In the fourth, it'll be Giuliano, Carker, and Jonick to bat. 6, 7, and 8. Giuliano in this game singled. He's 1 for 1, hitting .392 on the year, 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 11 runs knocked in. First pitch curve for a strike. Good job there by Gorman to mix it up. So many little things to this game. Fastball hit hard the opposite way. Chasing it in right field is Lewis. Long run, and it is foul.
John Lewis has had a workout in right field as the Mainland hitters have been hitting a lot the opposite way. And that one just goes out of play, but there it was. As you mentioned, Gorman with the first pitch with that curveball, that makes a difference. You talk about how hitters pick up on it, pitchers do too. And I'm sure the coaches let them know about it as well.
So Giuliano, the catcher, back in. Gets the curve. This is going to be a tough play up the middle. Stallings, nice job on the run. Head first slide, but being retired is Giuliano. And he better watch it. It's not too advisable to dive head first into first base.
I've always said that's the worst thing anybody can do, just run through. First of all, I don't care how quickly you dive. You're always going to get to first base faster if you run through. But look at this play here by Stallings. Look at that throw on the run. That's an outstanding play by the shortstop, Stallings, to get the out, and he got him.
Tells you how important this game is to both teams. Line drive into the gap in left center field. Let's see if Carker tries to go for 2. It's a great job to get over there and cut that out by Primacelli.
Good job by Carver. He got the first ball fastball. Gorman threw the curveball first to the previous hitter. Giuliano decides, oh, maybe he'll try to sneak the fastball in, but Carver was sitting on it. Good job by him.
So Joe Carver, the DH, now 1 for 2 in this game. He's a one-out base runner for Chris Jonick. Jonick 0 for 1 with the strikeout. He's hitting .291 on the year, 3 doubles, 2 home runs on the year. Carver at first base has no stolen bases. He's back in standing.
And we mentioned how Central won the championship in 1984. Mainland not only trying to break the Capes drought, but they have never won a sectional championship in South Jersey.
Back to first again, safe. The last title for Central, 1984.
Wonder if their ace of that team, Al Leiter, would, if the Mets had an off day, would make a little trip down here. Unfortunately, I think he's a little busy these days.
Outside for a ball to Jonick.
That Subway Series is coming up next week, or as we like to call it, the Maximum Security Series with the Mets and the Yankees.
Runner at first, 1 out. That's high pickoff play at first, close, but back in safely is Carver.
And sometimes if you're a runner, you don't have to lead to steal a base, but you could see just how far you have to lead, and you see if a pitcher throws a pickoff move, how much room you have. If you have to dive back, you know you've gone your limit. Sometimes you draw the throw, and it results in an error.
Jonick swings through a high fastball. One out in the inning, a runner at first base. Chris Jonick in. He tries to bunt and bunts it foul.
And he was bunting for a base hit right there because Central was not looking for it, and Chris Nye was playing back on his heels a little bit. Just fouled that one off. Not a bad idea, even with 1 out. Certainly it caught Central by surprise, but Jonick couldn't get the ball down.
Tied at 2. Top of the 4th inning. 1 out, a runner at first. Sidearm delivery, and he struck him out. 3rd strikeout of the game for Gorman.
Well, Gorman hasn't mixed that sidearm pitch in that much today, but it has been effective. And I think when he throws that pitch, he gets a little more gas on his fastball, and that's what we saw right there. Jonick's dejected going back to the dugout, but there's not much he can do. That's a great pitch by Gorman.
Here's Rich Nump, the right fielder, in the 9th hole. He has singled in this game and scored a run on the homer by Lindquist. He's 1 for 1, hitting .366 in the year. 2 outs in the inning, runner at first. Nump swings at 1 out of the strike zone, strike 1.
Well, Jonick does not have a stolen base on the season, so he's probably not going here even with 2 out.
1 strike to Nump. Curve and a beauty. He's in there for a strike.
This inning, Gorman has mixed up his pitches fairly well, except for the fastball he gave up to Carver. He's got a good mix of his pitches, and he's getting the curve over.
0-2 to Nump. Hit hard at the shortstop. Stalling slips over to Ecke, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. No damage for Mainland in the top of the 4th. We move to home half of the 4th. We are tied at 2.
Good job here by Central to get out. Gorman with a very impressive inning, as we mentioned.
And sliding into first base as well, head first. Very dangerous. Frank Pramicelli to lead things off. He's 0 for 1. Takes it low for a ball. It's 1-0. To be Pramicelli, Taylor, and Nye to bat here in the bottom of the 4th for Central. Pramicelli batting .310 on the year. He'll be attending Stockton. Popped up over our heads and out of play.
And Fattori, after giving up those 2 runs, actually did a nice job to get out of further trouble that inning after giving up that ground rule double, gave up that slow grounder to Gorman.
Curve low in the dirt.
Both pitchers have battled today. They haven't been totally effective on the mound, but they've done enough to keep their team in the ball games, and both of them expected to go a lot of innings today.
That's outside for a ball.
Well, Central got their leadoff hitter on 2 of the first 3 innings, and one of those innings they got both of their runs in.
Swing and a miss at a high pitch. 3-2 now.
And that was ball 4, but that's such a tough pitch to lay off. That high fastball that wasn't head high, but it was high enough.
3-2 pitch. High, ball 4, a leadoff walk for Pramicelli.
Good job there by Primicelli to come back in the batting order, and after sometimes a hitter, when he's up 3-1 in the count, will swing at a bad pitch and get frustrated and feel like he has to chase at 3-2, but he did a good job of laying off that what turned out to be the fourth ball.
Third walk of the game by Fattori. Here's Scott Taylor. He's 0 for 1, hitting .400 on the year. Primicelli with an average lead at first base. 1-0.
And right now, if you're Scott Taylor, you might want to wait till you get a pitch to... You might want to wait and take a strike, basically, and then with Fattori already giving up one walk, make him throw one.
They play him around the pull in the outfield. Back to first, in standing, Primicelli. Tied at 2, bottom of the fourth inning. That's high for a ball.
And Fattori has not been this wild since the first inning. This is where he has to settle down.
He walked the first 2 hitters of the game, then got a fly out and a double play. 2-0 pitch. Way high, 3-0.
And now, again, here, and this is a good decision right here. One of the coaches is going to come out and talk to Fattori and settle him down. He hasn't thrown it this high since that first inning when he was wild out of the strike zone, so he's got to settle down here a little bit.
Seems to be kind of fiddling around with where his plant foot lands. He's been kicking that out all afternoon. You see the coach out there trying to help fill it in or dig something out for him.
That is amazing, too, Ted. The smallest things, when you talk about concentration for a pitcher, just any little thing, any small detail can just take you right out of your rhythm, and that could be it right there.
It's all about being totally comfortable as a hitter and a pitcher. And a lot of times, if the hole that you have to plant your foot in is shorter than when you want it to be or longer than when you want it to be, that can really mess up your delivery. 3-0 to Taylor with Primicelli at first. Nobody out. First 2 runners on with nobody out.
Well, Fattori did this in the first inning, got away with it, but percentages against you when you walk the first 2 hitters to start an inning. He does have the bottom of the order coming up here, but he's got to put the ball over the plate, let his defense do the work.
Well, I called for a bunting situation earlier, and we saw a 2-run homer, so I'll be quiet here. As Chris Nye comes to the plate, he's 0 for 1 with the fly out. He'll swing and takes that first strike.
Now we'll see, maybe he could square around the bump because he might have been waiting with Fattori wild to get a strike first.
And at first base, Belsurski way back. At third base, Zadina also back. He does bunt down to first, fielding this nicely for Fattori. Fattori will get the out. The runners move up. So Primicelli at third, Taylor at second, 1 out.
That's similar to the play in the third inning with the sacrifice and a good job by Fattori once again. I think maybe the reason Belsurski is so far back is Fattori is such a good athlete. They have confidence that the ball's going to be bunted. He's going to get to it before it gets past him.
So 1 out. Here's Wayne Seaman. He reached base in an error and scored in the third, hitting .270 on the year. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. Mainland looks like, Ed, they will concede the run as they are at normal depth. They want an out here with 1 out.
That's a smart thing right here. Even though you put the go-ahead run in for Central and you only go to the 5th inning next inning, right now you want to avoid a big inning for the Golden Eagles of your Mainland.
1-0.
And Fattori does not have a strikeout all day. He's got 25 on the year, but he's not the kind of pitcher that will overpower you. To give an example, Scott Zadina, the race, has 90 Ks on the season.
1-0 to the 8th hitter, Wayne Seaman. Fastball foul down the third baseline.
Fattori came right back with a fastball and just got Seaman to go around it a little bit. And Fattori's a smart pitcher. He throws a lot of pitches that go into the ground. And threw a good pitch right there.
Bottom half of the 4th inning, tied at 2 here in the South Jersey Group 3 championship game. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Now the first baseman comes up even with the bag, Belsurski. Change up opposite way, right at Belsurski. He throws to third, maybe a double play. Yes, it is. So Belsurski moves up, catches the ball, and makes the play. We have played 4 full innings here from Southern Regional. We will step aside and take a break. We are tied at 2 through 4. The Group 3 championship game tied at 2 as we start the 5th. Tad Kozaneski, Ed Benkin with you. R.J. Lindquist swings through that for a strike. He is 1 for 2. Has a 2-run homer in this game. He has 2 homers now in the year. Who's going to come up with that big play to advance on and win the South Jersey title? We'll find out in the next hour.
And Tad, this has been a great championship game, certainly, as we've expected. But Mainland has gotten this far because of their defense. 2 double plays with less than 2 outs and a runner on third. That's really the difference so far.
1-1 pitch. There's that sidearm slider for a strike. It's 1-2.
And you said it. That's a slider. He's thrown that sidearm delivery for a fastball. That's a great pitch there by Gorman.
1-2 to Lindquist. 1, 2, and 3 in the order. Lindquist, Zadina, and Fattori to bat here in the top of the 5th. Bounces up there as he overthrew that.
And that's a situation here where Gorman has not really overthrown a lot of pitches today. Fattori got into a case where he overthrew in the 1st and overthrew in the 4th, but that's been it.
And you'll see that a lot of times when you're heading the count like Gorman was. He really wanted to pump one in there. Curve. This is going to be a tough play. It's short. Stallings. It's cut off actually by Nye. Not in time to get the speedy Lindquist. And with that high hop hit, another infield single.
And Nye made a great play. All you can do right there, as good as Stallings is, if you're the third baseman Nye, you come in, you cut it off, but no chance. As you see, Lindquist making it in by a mile. He's got 29 stolen bases on the year. There's the play by Nye. Bobbled it a little bit, but it really didn't matter. Look at how Lindquist, he's already on his way down the right field line by the time that ball comes. 29 stolen bases, Ted. I think he might try for 30.
Has a big lead. There he goes. First pitch high for a ball throw. Bounces in low, and he is safe at second base. The ball beat him by a couple steps, but the tag was not made. Steal number 30.
Yeah, that's it. The ball did beat him. Looked like he was going to be a dead duck, and there's Norton, the catcher. Not a great throw, but I'll tell you what, the kind of throw that the second baseman Ecke should be able to come up with that amount of time and make the play.
1-0 to Zadina. He has flown out 2 times to second base. Down to bunt. Bunts through that. That's not really the way you want to bunt the ball. 1-1.
Well, Zadina's not used to bunting. I mean, this is a guy who's a real big hitter in this lineup, but Gary, hey, why not? The way you're playing defensively, the way Fattori's pitching, you got a runner on second, nobody out, bunt him over. Get that go-ahead run, and it's already the 5th inning.
Zadina, again, a .324 hitter, 2 homers, 17 runs batted in.
Also has to be careful. I think he was just talking with the umpire. Might have come close to stepping on the plate. Of course, if he does that when he lays down the bunt, he could be out.
1-1 the count to Zadina. Lead run at second base in the form of R.J. Lindquist. Down to bunt again. Gets the bunt down. It's beautiful. 1 play to first. Just in time at first base to retire the hustling Zadina, so the sacrifice is good. Lindquist moves to third with 1 out.
We've seen a lot of good fundamental baseball and good defense by both teams today. Only 1 error in the game, and you see it right there. Zadina looked real awful, frankly, on that first bunt attempt, but it sounded like he got off the end of his bat, and that's fine, because that'll put it right where you want to put it. Boy, he did not get thrown out by much. That was a bang-bang play at first base, but Mainland gets the tying run, the go-ahead run, rather, 90 feet away. Frank
Fattori, the third hitter, comes to the plate. He is 1 for 2. You have to keep an eye again at Lindquist at third. There's a lot of room behind home plate. Norton, the catcher, going to have to block it here.
This senior has had a very memorable year. Another big year for Mainland on the football field, and trying to help out for a championship on the baseball field here.
Fattori has 3 homers in the year, 27 runs batted in. Big swing, fouled out of play.
First ball fastball, got it. Just got under it a little bit, but a decent swing on it. Got the pitch he wanted.
So the next 2 guys up for Mainland, the 2 best RBI hitters, Fattori with 27, Balcerski with 29. There you see the room behind the plate. Had a lot of room. Curve just misses.
And that's a factor. If the ball gets by Norton, it's probably going to bring the run home. There you see it again right there. Plenty of room behind the catcher.
Curve gets away. Here comes the lead run as Lindquist comes in to score, and Mainland takes a 3-2 lead on the wild pitch by Gorman.
As if on cue, there it is, and there's only been one other wild pitch today to advance the runner, and that's partially because that man Norton and his counterpart Giuliano have done a good job blocking the plate, but pitch just bounced off the plate, and forget it. It gets by Norton, especially with Lindquist. It doesn't matter who's running, he's in.
That pitch is in for a strike to Fattori. You just had a feeling with the way Lindquist was running the bases that something like that was going to happen. Throws that one by Fattori, a strikeout for Gorman. That is his 4th strikeout in the 2nd out of the inning.
That's not the pitch you want to strike out on. Too high on that pitch by Fattori. But yeah, you just mentioned that wild pitch. You got a runner like Lindquist on third base. If you're the pitcher, it makes you think a little bit. Hey, I can't throw the wild pitch. It gets in your mind, and what happens? Wild pitch.
2 outs now for Al Balcerski, the first baseman who has flown out and singled. He has 4 homers on the year and 29 runs batted in. Low pitch there in the slider. Norton blocks that one.
Gorman hasn't gotten his breaking ball over for this curve for the most part this inning. Threw the slider on the 3/4 delivery, but can't throw that pitch too many other times.
2 outs in the inning, a run in. Mainland leading it 3-2. High fastball. Balcerski swings through it.
Mustangs can't help Gorman right now. The situation where he's not pitching effectively this inning as he has in innings past.
Hit hard the opposite way. It is foul. It just misses the bag at first. Nice job, though, by Todd to come up with that.
Yeah, he did make a nice play. Again, both these teams getting here with defense. I've been very impressed how both teams in their first, well, Mainland in their 2nd championship game, but Central in their first, they aren't showing any kind of championship jitters. They're playing very well in the field.
2 outs, and the pitch to Balcerski. Change-up is popped high and out of play, like a change-up curve there.
Yeah, Gorman has a lot of different pitches he can throw at you, and that keep a lot of hitters off balance. Mainland has been able to get on his fastball at the right time on the first pitch, but he's been able to mix it up a little bit now.
Hits them. So Balcerski hit on the backside. He'll be a 2-out base runner.
No way he can get out of that, too, and that stings. But pitcher just got away from Gorman, got him right in the back, and Mainland gets the door open once again. I mean, if you're the Mainland Mustangs, it's a shame Fattori swings at that high pitch because they could even be in bigger business right now.
Mike Granieri, the plate, has walked and flown out. He had 6 home runs. That leads the Mustangs. Big swing at a fastball and fouls it back.
And the way this game is going, a 1-run lead is not a sure thing because both teams have battled back, and the way they're fundamentally sound, who knows?
1 strike to count to Granieri. Curve swung through and it hits the umpire on the foul.
It wasn't looking for the curve there, it was looking for the fastball and was in front of it a little bit. Good pitch right there by Gorman. Gorman has made some excellent pitch selections, whether it be he or the coaching staff or his catcher Norton, has came up with a lot of good pitches at the right time. Even threw a good pitch this inning to Lindquist when he got the infield single, got him to chop one on the ground. Hasn't really given up a hard hit ball, just threw the wild pitch. That was his only mistake this inning.
So Balcerski at first. He was just hit by a pitch. There are 2 outs. Granieri swings right through that for the 3rd out of the inning. It's the 5th strikeout of the game for Gorman, but again, damage done in the inning. 1 run as Lindquist comes in to score for the 2nd time. He moved to the home half of the 5th. It is now 3-2 Mainland. Here's M.J. Taha, the first baseman. He has singled and scored a run, hitting .294 on the year. His team trails at 3-2 as we start the bottom half of the 5th. To keep an eye on Fattori. He has walked 3 to this point, actually 4 to this point.
And again, as we said, not a strikeout pitcher, but an effective pitcher's got the lead here.
That pitch bounces a few feet in front of the plate, ball 1.
And again, in case you're just joining us, Scott Zadina, the ace, is out of innings this week, according to rules in the State Athletic Association. Went the distance against Toms River South, so it's all up to that man today here at Southern Regional.
1-0 the count to Taha. 2-0.
The pitch Fattori wanted, didn't get. He's fallen behind hitters. It has not cost him yet. But as we said, you cannot give the Central team too many chances.
2-0 pitch. Strike 1. It's 2-1. So 2-1 to Taha, leading it off here in the bottom of the 5th. Called strike 2.
I didn't like that pitch. Might have been up a little high, but let it go. So Fattori's battled back here. He's got to keep the ball down, though. You see that strike goes up in the strike zone. Has to keep the ball around the knees if he's going to throw strikes.
Here's Fattori's 2-2 pitch. grounded right back at him. Gets by him, though. Perea can't make the play, and that's going to be his second error of the game.
It's an error, but it's kind of a hard luck error. It's one he'll tell you he should have had, but that ball took a nasty hop. He was ready to get it on the ground. Ball bounced up, hit him right in the word Mustangs on his chest. Watch the high hop. It comes right there. See, he's got his glove on the ground ready to field. It just bounced up on his chest. You see him react to it right there.
So we're going to get, I believe, a pinch runner at first base. As Taha's on first. We will send up, looks like John Mascarelli will come in and pitch run at first base. So Mascarelli in to run.
And we'll keep an eye on Mascarelli, too. Nobody out in the inning. Might want to think about taking off here.
Leadoff hitter is Chris Ecke. He has walked, had a beautiful sacrifice bunt. Officially looking for his first at bat, hitting .342 on the year. Mascarelli looks runnerish over there, too. Back to first. Vittori saw that as well.
This reminder, we'll have post-game coverage here, too, as we wait to see who the winner is in this game.
Vittori steps off.
Vittori's, in some innings, has thrown a lot of pitches, and others has not, but it's starting to work a pretty deep count here.
1-0.
Chance here, too. I don't see any indication of Ecke, the leadoff hitter, bunting. Might want to try and get a steal first and then try to bunt afterwards.
Pulled foul into the crowd. 1-1. Bottom half of the fifth inning here in the South Jersey Group 3 championship game. Central, the home team, the #1 seed batting. They trail it 3-2. Decent lead again at first base by Mascarelli. Back to first. Safely he's in.
That's about as long as he's going to go lead-wise, too, because when usually at that point when you're diving back just in time, you know that's about as far as you can go if you're the runner.
Ecke back in. Pitch to him. Fake the bunt. It's high.
Well, this is where coaches, you know, they have the tough job. This is where the wheels turn a little bit here. A lot of different options in this situation. Do you bunt them? Do you send them? Do you hit and run? All kinds of possibilities.
The Dina at third is up on the grass. He's looking for a bunt. Pop right side. They may have a play at this. Long run, Balcerski. He's over. Can't quite make the play as he slides right in front of the fence.
And he saw what happened, I think, to Lewis earlier in the game in right field for the Eagles, and he was near that fence. You could almost see he slowed down because he wanted to shield himself. Didn't know how close he was. Watch him again go after this ball, and you see him kind of slow down a little bit right about there. He's going for the ball. Worried a little bit about the fence. Almost got to it, though.
Just missed it. Vittori steps off again.
The other thing, too, is the base runner, Marcelli, was tagging, because if he catches that ball, he's tumbling around on the ground. He might be able to make it to second base.
High for a ball, 2-2.
And Vittori has to work on the batter right here. I know Marcelli is thinking of going here, but he just has to throw strikes. He's got the meat of the order coming up.
Nobody out, a runner at first. Runner's going. It's hit right at the shortstop, and they're able to knock it down again. It's Perea. They throw to first. Not in time. Third error of the game for Perea.
And the second inning, that's a hard hit ball, but you got to make the play. The defense has been so solid for Mainland, but they have 3 errors, and all 3 of them against Perea at shortstop. Let's watch it again. Good swing on the ball. Now, the runner breaking, I think, had a little bit of a factor on Perea, maybe taking his eye off the ball. You've got one play right here, first base. If he fields it cleanly, he's going to make the play. Good effort by Jonick to get it over there, but he beats it out.
Runners at first and second for John Lewis, who has a sacrifice. Flying to walk, hits it fair or foul, hooking foul down the left field line. Sat on the fastball. Lewis comes in hitting .388. He's looking for his first official at bat. He does have an RBI today.
He sat on it. You're for tour here. It's got to be a little frustrating. You've made the pitches this inning. There have been 2 errors, but you have to shake them off.
1 strike to count to John Lewis. 2 runners on, nobody out here in the bottom half of the 5th. Mainland leading at 3-2. Lewis got a good cut at that one. Foul tip caught by the catcher Giuliano, strike 2.
Well, when you pull one foul like he did, Lewis wanted the next pitch, thought it was going to be a high fastball, got it, but a little too high, and that's why he foul tipped it.
0-2 to Lewis, in the second position today for Central. Curve served into center field. Rounding third is the pinch runner Mascarelli. Here's your throw. It's cut off. It'll be an RBI single for John Lewis, and we are tied at 3.
Defense has been the strength of Mainland this whole game. Defense cost them this inning. 2 errors, and you have a run in. Good job right there by the center fielder Lindquist. The ball was hit slowly enough. He had no chance to get Marcelli at the plate. So you throw that ball head high to where the cutoff man is, and they did the smart thing to cut it off and keep the runner Ecke at second.
2 runners on, nobody out, bottom of the 5th. We're now tied at 3. Here's the third hitter, Josh Norton. Norton flew out deeply to center field and then crushed a double and knocked in the first run of the game for Central Regional. A dangerous hitter. In there for a strike. Nobody out, bottom of the 5th inning. Fattori's got to pitch his way out of some trouble here. I can tell you one thing at this point, somebody else is going to have to score to win this game as we're tied at 3. Called strike 2.
And both teams have answered each other all day. Mainland gets 2, Central ties it. Mainland gets 1, Central ties it.
Fattori shakes off a sign. The 0-2 pitch. Curve and a beauty, called strike 3. His biggest pitch of the game and his first strikeout.
That was his best pitch of the game. His best pitch, his best curveball. That's a perfect pitch with 2 strikes. And you see Norton's frustrated. I think he knew it was a strike, too, and there's not much you can do about that when Fattori hasn't thrown that all day.
Jesse Gorman is grounded out to a double play and is grounded out to Perea. He's grounded out to Perea 2 times. He's 0 for 2. Best hitter for average on the team, hitting .535. 1 out with runners at first and second. They play him around the pull. Pop foul. He had a real nice cut at that one.
Got the dog patrol. See that deep out in left field? Fans and hounds alike attending this one.
Beautiful day here on Memorial Day weekend to go out for a walk.
Yeah, they are. Well, I'll tell you what, as long as they keep them on the other side of the fence, the outfielders won't slip.
1 strike pitch. Good cut again. This is pulled over to second base. Jonick going to step on the bag himself over to first. Bounces it in time for the double play. Chris Jonick just made a huge play for Mainland. 1 run in the inning for Central Regional. We have played 5 here from Southern Regional, tied at 3 in the South Jersey Group 3 championship game. Have some fans brought some signs here for Mainland.
Boy, Mainland, 3 double plays to get out of innings. If they win this championship, that's the difference. And Jonick, with all due respect to Perez, he's had a terrible day. Jonick's not going to take any chances. He knows he has time, and he is so good with the runner sliding into him, making the throw. Even though he bounced it there, and Bolserski makes a great play. So Giuliano will try to get it going for Mainland here in the 6th inning. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He is singled and grounded to short. Top of the 6th, tied at 3 in the Group 3 championship. 3's wild today at Southern Regional.
A lot of times in this situation, as we get near the bottom of the lineup, you'll see some of the hitters try to bunt for a hit. We'll keep an eye out for that.
So here's Giuliano trying to start things off with his 1 for 2 on the afternoon, facing Jesse Gorman. Both pitchers going the distance so far. Gorman's first pitch on the way, and it's hit high into the air in right field. Be an easy play for Lewis as he steps back and squeezes it for out number 1.
You see the Mainland hitters being very aggressive again, Ed, going for that first pitch fastball. I like the aggressiveness of this team.
1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch. Here comes Joe Carver. He struck out and singled on the day for Mainland. In this Mainland lineup, only 2 of the 9 hitters have not reached base today. Breaking ball. Good pitch by Gorman right there as it's fouled off for a strike.
And that's his case where Carver has to be disciplined. First pitch curveball, you have to let it go. And that was a nice pitch as it was low, well below the knees.
That one low for a ball. Count is even a 1-1. I think he was looking for the fastball in the first pitch as well. Gorman picked up on that nicely.
That's not a bad strategy, but if he comes in with the curve, you have to hold your swing.
Over for a called strike. It's 1-2 to Carver. Breaking ball and a beauty for a called third strike. Gorman, with a good pitch right there, picks up strikeout number 6 on the day. That's 2 out.
Done a good job of mixing up his pitches, and the curveball from the lefty there just got enough of the corner to be called a strike.
2 up and 2 down for Mainland in the 6th, and here's Chris Jonick. He's been a strikeout victim both times up. As you see that pitch go over for the strike. Swings and misses. Boy, that's a good fastball by Gorman. It's low, right around the knees, a little low.
You like to keep it down there because it's hard for a hitter to get elevation on that. Usually if you hit them down at the knees, you're going to hit it into the ground.
It's a high breaking ball. Both pitchers have really done their job today. All you can do, if you're the coach, you send them out there, say, keep us in the game, and both have done just that. There's a curveball hit down the third base side. Nye backhands it. Long throw to first base in time. And that will retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning as Mainland goes down in order here in the 6th. To the bottom of the 6th we go. We are still tied at 3.
That is a very tough play by Nye at third. He had the backhand. It got a short hop. That's your Mainland sideline there, as they have brought a ton of people this game, and they've been very vocal, Ed. They're a little quiet now, realizing how important this inning is for both teams.
The intensity certainly is starting to heat up a little bit right here. You can feel it in the air, and then that's when the fans, they make a lot of noise early and start the innings here, and they know the next run could win it with the way these two teams are going. Frank Primicelli to lead it off for Central. He is 0 for 1, walked and flied out. And he lines one to left field, and the catch is made by Granieri for out number 1.
That's called hitting them where they are right there. He hit that one right on the screws as hard as you can hit it, but Granieri had to move about a step and a half to catch that.
Sometimes that play can be tough when you're an outfielder, a line drive right at you, but as you said, Granieri barely had to take a step. That is 1 pitch and 1 out. Scott Taylor 0 for 1. He is grounded out and walked on the day for Central. High fastball, missing up high, 1-0 the count. Sun is dipped behind the clouds somewhat here, makes it easier for the fielders on that right side. Good pitch as he takes something off at 1-1.
And it looks like Taylor has a big looping swing, Ed. That ball was low and inside the knees. He had trouble coming around to meet that.
Up high for a ball, 2-1 the count. When Fattori's missing, that's how it's been. Just overthrowing it and putting it high. So 2-1 the count to Taylor. Nobody on for Central here in the 6th. We are tied at 3 in the Group 3 championship game at the neutral site of Southern Regional High School.
You can see Fattori, if we can get him on the mound, continually digging out. He just called timeout to dig up that hole where he's going to land. He has been uncomfortable with that all day. As a coach, you hate to see that, Ed, because you wonder what's on your pitcher's mind.
Chases the high fastball. It's 2-2 as Taylor helps Fattori out. So 2-2 the count to Taylor. Popped up, shallow left field. This is going to be a tough play. Granieri coming hard, and the catch is made nicely by Perea, the shortstop, who's had a terrible day in the field, makes a great play for out number 2.
That just made up for it there. I'll tell you, I didn't think he had a shot to come up with that. He was playing almost up the middle at second base, a full-speed dive, and he has to basically give up his body because Granieri is charging full speed as well, and he gets a good ovation from the Mainland sideline.
That's a nice job by the Mainland fans to pick up on that. Perea with a hard day so far with the 3 errors, but you just said it. He made up for it with that great play.
That was outstanding, and that's what Fattori needed. It looked like he was starting to struggle a little bit.
Chris Nye, 0 for 1, has popped out and is sacrificed. Looks at that first pitch as it bounces up there, 1-0. And Fattori, as we mentioned, just like Gorman, they've battled, they've thrown pitches, and for the fans there, they've seen both pitchers keep their teams in the game.
That's your Central sideline.
Over for a called strike on the outside corner, 1-1 the count to Nye. Fastball on a high one, swung on and missed. It's 1-2. And this is where The pressure intensifies, and the hitters have to be that much more disciplined. It can be difficult.
Torrey really reached back and let that one go. Now he shakes off a couple pitches. Ooh.
Throws looked like an intended knuckleball of some kind, but whatever it was, it missed by a few feet.
That was an attempt at a change up there, Ed. He tried to keep it low, and that was the key. If you're going to do anything, bounce it in.
2-2, the count to 9. Fastball popped up right side. Going back is the second baseman, Jonik. Coming in is the right fielder, Nupp. And he can't get it, and he can't find it. Jonik over to get it. And it's a Texas League single for Chris Nye with 2 out.
I think Nupp actually got a glove on that, Ed. Put it this way, somebody should have caught that ball, whether it be Jonik or Nupp. I actually thought the second baseman, Jonik, was going to take this all the way. You see him there. Now, all of a sudden, he just stops as it's called by Nupp. Nupp gets just can't make the play. Your call, Ed. You tell me.
Score that one a hit.
All right, we'll give him a hit there. It's a tough play.
That's why. Gets away, and here comes Niall. Scamper up to second base. So on a ball where Nupp will tell you he should have had it. That results in the runner getting on base, now moving up to second on the wild pitch. So the go-ahead run at second base for Central with 2 out. 1-0 the count to Wayne Seaman. He's lived on an error, hit into a double play, and scored a run. Over for a called strike. It's 1-1. Where Fattori's only given up 4 hits on the day is really battled. 7 hits given up by Gorman.
Central coach is going to call time, wants to talk things over with Seaman here.
Checking on the outs, I think, right there. 2 outs in the inning as Vermicelli lined out and Taylor popped out.
So what's probably going to happen here, Coach knows with 2 outs and a runner at second, anything that gets through the infield, you're going to send Nye here and try and score this run. It's important, though, for Nye to get a good jump at second.
Nubb down the right field side. That'll go foul. 1-2. Now the count to Seaman.
You see Nye at second base, Ed. You know pretty much as the runner here in this situation, you're going to get waved around pretty much no matter where the ball goes in the outfield. So you have to get yourself a good lead here. And not only a good lead, Ed, but you want to get your momentum moving to third base on the pitch. You want to be almost what we call a walking lead. As the pitcher lets go of the ball, you start walking to third. Great shot there. You can see how he takes his lead.
Fastball popped high into the air in left field. Granieri's going to give it a look with plenty of room. He puts it away to retire the side. Central Regional down here in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We move to the 7th inning here at Southern Regional. The score, Mainland 3, Central 3. Well, Nubb comes in. He is 1 for 2 on the day, has a single, also scored a run when Lindquist followed him with a dinger. Nupp's the number 9 hitter, but as we mentioned, he came in with a .356 average, so he's not your typical number 9 hitter. Lays off the breaking ball, was looking fastball and saw it bounce. Good job by Rich Nupp.
Good job by Gorman to mix it up, identifying that the Mainland batters have been aggressive going after that first pitch fastball.
Could get a fastball here, too, with 1-0. Gets it and pops one into the air, right field. Lewis has a pretty long run, has got to come over, makes the catch in foul territory for the out. Nice play.
He had to run a ton for that one. With the wind blowing towards the first base line, the ball carried a little extra. Good job by Lewis.
Here comes R.J. Lindquist. Big battle of the day for Mainland. 2 out of 3, a 2-run home run and a single. 2 runs scored. There's the play made right there.
Top of the order, Josh.
Well, he's been on fire his last 2 at-bats.
Well as he's been swinging, you wonder with his speed if he might try and lay one down here.
And they are back. First and third are well back.
Breaking ball, and that's chopped towards the hole. Nice grab by Stallings. Long throw to first. In time, out number 2.
It's a beautiful job by Stallings to identify that Lindquist has great speed. He caught the ball, instantly planted his right foot, and threw a seed to first base. If he takes an extra step or two, they're not going to get Lindquist.
Yeah, nice job, too, by the Central coaching staff. As soon as Lindquist stepped to the plate, they all yelled top of the order, so they're certainly aware of that man's speed.
Here it is again, Ed, coming up on the replay. And you're going to see, we see this, well, you'll see the running here of Lindquist. And he makes this close. You can see the catch in the plant. Well done.
2 up and 2 down. First pitch to Scott Zadina is low for a ball. Zadina has popped up twice, and his sacrifice, he's 0 for 2. Chased the high fastball and fouled it straight back, 1-1.
And Zadina now leads at a little bit of the home run parade. The next batter, Zadina has 2, Faturi 3, Balcerski 4, and Granieri 6. So all are capable of driving one out of here.
Line foul down the third base side towards the Mainland spectators. 1-2 now the count. We're in the top of the 7th inning. We are tied at 3 here in the Group 3 championship. Scheduled to hit for Central in the 7th, the 9 1 and 2 hitters, Taha, Eki, and Lewis. And this is where you have the number 2 hitter for Mainland. You've got the guys who can do the damage waiting next. Fastball and a good one, and it's fouled straight back.
Zadina's had a couple nice cuts at the fastball and the curveball. I think if you come with the curveball here, you want to change it into a slider, throw it a little harder, and keep it down.
Breaking ball outside. It's 2-2.
I almost like that sidearm pitch here against Zadina if they can come up with that with Gorman. He tried it there with the changeup.
Fastball struck him out. Great pitch by Gorman to retire the side. Mainland down in order in the 7th. They have to hope for extra innings as we move to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 3.
Gorman dropped down on that, Ed. He went to the sidearm pitch, and that pitch is a very tough pitch to hit because it has a lot of movement on it, and Zadina swung right through it.
Well, it's up to Frank Fattori to keep Mainland in this game as Central will try to win it here in the bottom of the 7th. Squares to bunt, takes one for a strike.
That's just to shake up Fattori a little bit. He's taken all the way. Now he'll get the swing away.
Another fastball. That's one Taha would like back. It's 0-2.
Interesting pitch selection for Fattori here. 2 fastballs in for a strike. Got to come with something off the plate.
Ripped down the right field side, but a foul ball. Good diving attempt by Balcerski. That one was just foul.
Well, it was a good idea to go away from him, but you got to go further away from the plate. You can't go for the strikeout here. You really got to get the batter to chase something bad. And I have a feeling you're probably going to see an off-speed pitch, especially a curveball in this situation.
So the count remains 0-2 to Taha.
Boy, if that gets down the line, that's disaster for Mainland. That's about 2 or 3 feet foul down there.
Concentration here by Fattori as he finally will step off the rubber. Big pitch here early in the bottom of the 7th. Breaking ball, and that snub foul out of play.
Good job to change it up there, Ed.
Got that one up a little bit, but fooled Taha a bit, so still 0-2. Ball missing high and outside. It's 1-2. Mainland and Central tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Breaking ball over for a called third strike, and Taha knew it right away. That is just the 2nd strikeout of the game for Fattori, but it's a big one.
And Fattori took something off that as well. In his other strikeout, he did the same thing when he did it to Norton. That's just a tremendous pitch.
1 out here in the 7th. Back to the top of the order for Chris Eki. He has walked, sacrificed, and reached base on an error. So officially he's 0 for 1, but he's had a pretty good day. Looks at the breaking ball, missing inside, 1-0.
He doesn't have a big break to it, Ed, but he changes speeds on it. That's what makes his pitch so effective. First base coach there.
Over for a called strike. It's 1-1. Looks like the Central hitters are taking until they get one here.
That would be the case here in the 7th inning.
Fastball popped up right side. Should be a play for Balcerski. Foul territory, squeezes it. 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th. So John Lewis will try to keep the inning alive for Central. He has walked, sacrificed, and singled. And his sacrifice fly brought home a run in this game for Central. So officially he is 1 for 1 with an RBI. Actually make that 2 RBIs because his single in the 5th brought home Taha. Looks at the breaking ball low, 1-0. We're coming to the heart of the order now for Central, just like with Mainland last inning. Number 2 hitter up with 2 outs here.
Vittori's been very impressed with this inning, Ed. He's made quite a few tough pitches. And there's Perea, hoping that his team can advance on here with a nice defensive play.
Well, he had that big catch again last inning. Saved a lot of trouble for the Mustangs. Fastball grounded over to Perea at short, fields it cleanly, throws to first base, and the Group 3 championship game is going extra innings. No runs, hits, or errors, and none left. We go to the 8th, tied at 3. It'll be Vittori starting things off for Mainland. On the day, he is 1 for 3, has flied to right, has singled, and he has struck out. Has also been caught stealing on a play where it looked like he was safe.
Who's going to be the hero? Who's going to come up with that big play?
Whoever does, they will remember it for the rest of their lives. Good curveball to start with a strike.
Yeah, you'll remember forever, and they can never take that away from you. It's something you never forget.
High fastball, missing up high. Athletes talk about the success they have, even at the high school level. When they do something memorable, it carries on with them for success everywhere, really, for the rest of their lives. Foul tip for a strike. It's 1-2. Good pitch by Gorman. Breaking ball that's popped up in the infield. Looks like a play for Nye. Now Gorman, the pitcher, says, I'll take it, and he does for out number 1.
Good off-speed pitch there by Gorman. Came in with the changeup and took quite a bit off it. That looked like it almost came up there at half speed. Good job by Gorman. Gorman looks to seem like he has the same flow he's had throughout this game. He's been very consistent.
And neither pitcher in the latter innings has made any real mistakes on the mound. So Al Balcerski's turn now. He is 1 for 2 officially. He's flied out, singled, and been hit by a pitch. Looks at the fastball outside, 1-0.
And Al does have 4 home runs on the year, Ed, so he's got some power.
Breaking ball up high, 2-0 to count to Balcerski.
I think you got to give him the green light here, Ed. One of your power hitters batting in the 4th spot. Look for that fastball.
There it is, and it's popped up in the air. That'll go foul, and Gorman again, 2-0, has to throw the fastball. Puts a little more zip on it.
Kind of came 3/4 with that handcuff, Balcerski, a little bit.
Some beginning to peek out again with the count 2-1. Fastball and a beauty on the outside corner. It's 2-2.
I think if you're Gorman here, you have to make him hit your slider or maybe that sidearm pitch.
Fastball missing low and inside. It's a full count. So Balcerski will try to protect the plate here with the count 3-2.
Gorman really wanted that pitch. He takes a couple steps off the mound and to compose himself. That was very, very close.
And how these pitchers react on close pitches has also been a factor today. Missing low, ball 4. Good at bat by Balcerski as he works the walk. So he is at first base with 1 out. That is the 18th free pass Balcerski's gotten this year.
He only has 3 stolen bases, so really not a factor there. They're still going to have to hit to bring him around. Here's that last pitch again. You can see they're bouncing in the dirt.
Probably a case right here with 1 out where he wouldn't go unless there was a wild pitch. With 2 outs, it might be a different story. Here's Granarius, walked, flied out, and struck out. Good stop by Norton, 1-0. Time is called. Here comes Coach Rutter. I think this is a good idea for him to settle down Gorman. Maybe he's going to make a pitching change. Let's see. I think he might just want to talk to him.
Well, you have your best power hitter up at the plate in Granieri with 6 homers and 24 runs knocked in. So this is the one guy you have to pitch very, very carefully to. I think there's also a case for the coach to get the pitcher and the catcher on the same page to identify this situation, because a lot of times a young player could make a mental mistake and call the wrong pitch, and this is where the coach just says, look, this is what I want in this situation, guys.
So Granieri stands in. The count 1-0. Runner at first base is Bolserski. Foul tipped into the glove of Norton. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Chopped over to third base. Now I can't get it. It goes off his glove into left field. Taking the turn at second is Bolserski. He'll hold. An error on Chris Nye. It's first and second with 1 out.
Very difficult play for Nye at third base. He comes in to charge. The ball takes a nasty hop off the dirt, off his glove into left field, and a little bit of pressure on that man now.
See how they officially score that. Even though it was a tough hop, I think they'll give him an error.
Yep, that is an error, Ed, on the board.
Well, here's Tony Giuliano. He's singled, grounded out, and flied out. 1 for 3, and he lays off the high fastball. First and second for Mainland. We're in the top of the 8th, tied at 3. Group 3 title on the line. Giuliano ground ball to Nye again. He'll make the easy play to third. Throw to first base. Not in time. So they get the lead runner at third on a nice play by Nye. First and second, 2 out.
Good job by Nye there after the last play. Just kept his presence of mind, knew exactly what he wanted to do with that. Stepped on third, made a strong throw to first. Here it is again. Didn't hesitate at all. Goes for the lead runner. Strong throw to first. Not in time, though, to retire Giuliano.
And on a play when you're probably going to get 1 out anyway, you get the lead runner. There's already been 1 run scored on a wild pitch for Mainland. You want to keep the tying runner, the go-ahead run rather, away from third. There you see the pinch runner over at first base as Howard is back out again to run for Giuliano. Here is Joe Carver. He's 1 out of 3, has singled and struck out twice. Misses the fastball and a good one by Gorman, 0-1. Breaking ball misses high and outside. It's 1-1. That's a pitch Gorman's going to have to get over.
And with 2 outs, Granieri knows at second base, anything through the ground to the outfield, he's going. So you see Granieri there. He knows he's going to have to get a good jump.
And he's got pretty good speed. 8 stolen bases on the year, so he'll be going around. Fastball swung on and missed. A good fastball by Gorman, 1-2.
I was going to say, that's as hard as Gorman's thrown a ball all day.
First and second, 2 outs, 1-2 the count to Carver.
Interesting here, they moved the left fielder Seaman way over to the left field line.
Lays off the high fastball. It's 2-2. Good job there by Gorman to try and make him chase.
It almost looks like he's getting stronger here in the 8th inning, Ed.
He's stepping up a little bit right now, and he's had to. With Mainland threatening. Fastball over for a call, 3rd strike. A great pitch by Gorman to get out of the 8th. For Mainland, no runs, no hits. There was 1 central error and 2 left on base. Bottom of the 8th, still deadlocked at 3.
As Norton comes to the plate, Ed, I just have a bad feeling about this for some reason. Norton's had a couple big cuts all day. This is a huge batter for Vittori.
For Mainland now, this is the key right here. Norton has flied out to deep center, has doubled, and has struck out.
But just missed it on the mound. Vittori just crouched over and collected his thoughts for about 10 seconds.
Fastball over for a strike. Might have been asking for some help from the heavens above, too.
Well, that's almost what it's coming down to here, Ed.
Good breaking ball, slammed over to third, under the glove as Zadina recovers, no low throw, and it gets away for the first baseman, Balcerski, and moving up to second base is Norton. It'll be an error on the play, possibly a single as well. We'll wait for the official scoring. It'll be a straight error all the way through, and the championship run is at second base with nobody out for Central.
I just had a bad feeling about Norton there coming in, Ed. He's hit the ball hard all day, hit it hard to Zadina, and the ball handcuffed him at third. You have first base open with Gorman coming to the plate. It's a matter, do you want to pitch to Gorman here? All right, they are going to walk him, so Gorman will be walked.
It shows the respect they have for Gorman. There's a guy who's hit into 2 double plays and grounded out, but it also does the other thing here, more importantly, for Mainland. It sets up the force. They've had a couple double plays today.
I think that's the key here. You got to go with the force, and now if you're Coach Reuter here, Ed, I think this is probably going to be a bunting situation.
Go 10.
Can't risk a double play here.
Frank Primicelli will try to move the runners over. He has flied out twice and walked. He is 0 for 2. 3-3 game, bottom of the 8th.
And they really rely on Fattori to field this ball first and third real deep.
Fastball. That missed, 1-0.
Well, didn't offer a bunt at all in that one.
Could be taking till he gets one here. Missing low for a ball, 2-0 the count to Primicelli. Victoria's walked 4 batters today. Fastball, and he had a cut, fouled it straight back.
2-0 green light, had a real nice swing at it.
So he's letting him hit away, and the count is 2-1 now to Primicelli.
Now Coach runs through some signs. There's a possibility he may change it up here.
Zadina cheating it a little bit at third base. Is swinging away and pops one up. In the infield, Johnny.
It's the infield fly.
And there is out number 1, and that's a big one for Mainland.
Well, like I said, it's very easy to second guess in this game, Ed. A lot of our coaches we see in Group 4 would have bunted in that situation. Coach elected to let his hitter swing away. Now a double play can get Mainland out of the inning.
Still runners at first and second, 1 out, and here's Scott Taylor. He is grounded out, walked, and popped up, officially 0 for 2. Pretoria, as we mentioned, has only given up 4 hits. There have been 4 Mainland errors in this game, the 4th coming this inning.
And the outfield has to move in a little bit more. I think Granieri and Lindquist are a little too far out there in the outfield. You have to be able to throw the runner out in this situation. Granieri's a little bit closer. I think Lindquist has to come in 3 or 4 more steps.
Fastball missing low, 1-0 the count to Taylor. Chris Nye awaits on deck. There's the man who could score the championship-winning run for Central. High fastball, 2-0 the count to Taylor, who might be looking here.
Chris, you walked, all you got to do is get it out of the infield. That's it.
So 2-0 the count to Taylor. Norton at second, Gorman at first. Fastball over for a strike. It's 2-1. Game time approaching about 2 hours and 20 minutes here. Fastball, and that's no foul. Back to the screen, 2-2.
Got that in a good spot there, right on the hands of Taylor.
So 2-2 the count to Taylor. We'll keep an eye on Norton. Of course, a wild pitch here could move the runners up with the room as we've seen all day here with this backstop. Now Fattori will take his time and step off the rubber. The concentration, the hitters, the pitchers, unbelievable right now. Fastball popped up left side. This could be a tough play going towards the line. Who wants it? And the catch is made beautifully in left field by Granieri for out number 2.
Granieri had to come a long, long way from that. The last second he called everybody off, made the catch in foul ground. Here it is again. Ranieri's coming like a freight train from left field. The last second he calls everyone off. Ooh, just catches that in the heel of the glove.
And quietly, a great job by Vittori with the third baseman and shortstop out to cover third base to keep the runners from advancing. The fundamentals. Suddenly, 2 outs. Chris Nye has popped up, sacrificed, and singled. He is 1 for 2, trying to win it for Central with 2 out in the 8th. Fastball up high, 1-0. It got very quiet on both sides as far as the fans. The tension is in the air, and it's thick. Fastball, and that's popped foul out of play. It evens the count at 1-1. So 1-1, the count to Nye.
All Nye wants to do here is just put a ball in play and make something happen.
Fastball, and that's hit into center field, giving chase as Lindquist has to come in, squeezes it to end the inning, so Mainland gets out of trouble in the 8th. We go to the 9th inning, still tied at 3.
That's a great job by Vittori to hold his composure. He gets the error to put Norton on, then the walk to Gorman, 2 runners on, nobody out, gets the fly out to Primicelli, a fly out to Taylor, and a fly out to Nye, and it looks like we're going to be here a little bit longer.
Here comes Jonick. He is 0 for 3, has struck out twice, and is grounded out. Mainland had 2 runners on the 8th. Before that, though, Central had gotten 2 1-2-3 innings, but now it'll be Primicelli's turn to pitch. Starts Jonick off with a strike. Popped up high into the air in right field. Lewis has a long time to look, and he squeezes it for out number 1.
Boy, it looks like Primicelli is all business on the mound. He just gets the ball, and he's ready to let it go. Good job concentrating by Primicelli.
1 up, 1 down in the 9th. Rich Knupp's turn. He has singled, reached base on a fielder's choice, and flied out. He is officially 1 out of 3. He has also scored a run. Up looks at that pitch. Boy, that was a strike, and Primicelli actually dropped a little bit off that pitch. Good pitch. Curveball missing. Well, you got a guy who comes in with a 5-2 record, so it's not like you're going to a young, untested pitcher in this situation.
Looks like he's got a lot of confidence. Looks like the situation not phasing him at all. Breaking ball, Knupp fouls it back to the screen. It's 1-2. He's getting ahead of the hitters to start. That's half the battle in this game. We talk about that all season long, and for the most part, both these pitchers have been able to do that. When they've walked a couple, they've been able to get out of damage, even though Gorman only walked 1 in the game. He was pretty impressive in this game.
1-2, the count to Knupp. Fastball over for a called 3rd strike. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th.
Good job by Primicelli to keep that right at the knees at Knupp. That is a tough pitch, even if you elect to swing at a tough pitch to hit.
That'll be R.J. Lindquist. He's had a big day. Let's watch the delivery right here.
Almost a sidearm motion, and that you hate that as a right-handed batter because that ball comes across the front of you to the plate.
He's 2 out of 4. He's homered, singled, and grounded out twice. And he pops one up. This will go foul, heading out of play. Lindquist with that 2-run home run in the 3rd, a single, stolen base in the 5th. He has scored 2 runs. Grounded out in the 1st, grounded out in the 7th. 2 outs, nobody on. We are in the top of the 9th, tied at 3. Sidearm delivery, and it bounces up there for a ball. 1-1 the count to Lindquist, and keep in mind he's the speedster. If he can find a way to get on, he'll most likely try to steal and get in scoring position. Outside, 2-1 the count. He'll be patient at the plate here.
You can see Primicelli is all business, Ed.
Breaking ball, and that's slammed into left field. That's falling fast, but the catch is made by Seaman to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning here in the ninth. We move to the bottom of the ninth, still tied at 3.
It was a good job by Lindquist, too, Ed, to adjust for the curveball.
Strike, 1-1.
And I'm trying to remember, Ed, isn't there a rule as the amount of innings you can pitch in a week?
Yes, there is, and that's why Zadina is ineligible.
I'm trying to remember what that number is.
Chopped over towards the right side. Tough play. Perea down to first. Not in time. But Balacerski held it. And they rule he's safe at first base.
Boy, that was a great scoop by Balacerski at first on a bang, bang play. That's as close as you can get. Well, we're going to get another look at it here. Tough play by Perea. Long throw. Well, Ed, that looks like an out to me.
That's pretty close. Watch it again from that angle, and
let's see it again as we roll it the other way. He's got it in his glove right there. There it is. He's out
by a step.
Well, hopefully that will not be the winning run in this game. Hopefully.
You'd hate to see it for either side decided this way. Next batter will be Taha, and he rolls one down to Vittorio. Make the easy play, a high throw, but a nice job by Balcerski.
Sorry to get excited.
As Tad has a heart attack, but moving up to second base is Seaman on the sacrifice. Good job by Taha there.
I thought he threw that over Balcerski's head. Now you have the runner at second base on the error on the throw by Perea on the low throw, Ed, and Balcerski saved him on the scoop, but there's your championship run right there.
Second inning in a row, and extra innings. They've got the winning run to second base with less than 2 out. Here is Ecke, has walked, sacrificed, reached on an error, and popped up. Up high for a ball. I think they officially scored that an infield hit by Seaman. Even though it was a low throw, they scored an infield hit. Missing up high for a ball.
Now, as we come to this game as neutral parties, you just hate to see a situation like that where the winning run's on second base on a play like that.
Up high for a ball.
And first base is open, Ed, so there's not a lot of harm here if he does walk.
Although you've got John Lewis on deck, who's hit the ball fairly well today.
I think Norton's the guy I'd want to stay away from.
3-0 the count. Ball over for a called strike. It's 3-1. Seaman at second base, 1 out, tied at 3 in the bottom of the ninth. Up high, ball 4. He walked him. 6th walk of the game given up by Vittori. First and second, 1 out. And again, this appears to be his game to lose. Nobody warming up for Central. Nobody apparently getting ready to pitch.
Well, double plays defensively have been what saved Mainland today. They could really use one here.
John Lewis was walked, hit a sacrifice fly to score a run, singled and grounded out. He also had that on that single an RBI, so he's got 2 RBIs officially, 1 for 2. Fastball, and that's right over for a called strike.
And remember, double play to be even bigger with Josh Norton on deck.
Fastball, and that's popped up into right field. This will be a long run for Nuff. Coming over towards the line, makes the catch. Runner will not tag as they throw it in. The throw gets away from everybody, but bounces over to Sedina. Good play by Nuff. 2 out in the ninth.
And up to the plate, probably the toughest hitter, I think, today for Central, and Josh Norman. He has tattooed a couple of balls in this game. As you see the play again, this is a tough play for Nuff. Just at the line, would have been a fair ball. It's the second out here, Ed. And if I was coach here, I wish I had first base open. If I did, I would walk Norton.
A little surprised that Seaman did not tag up from second base. Had a chance to go to third, where a wild pitch could win it. Josh Norton's turn, flied out, doubled, struck out, and lived on an error. Officially 1 out of 4. 3-3, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Fastball over for a strike.
I think Vittori's got to come in with the off-speed curves, keep it away from this guy. He is right on the fastball.
If Mainland gets out of this, we will be taking a break before we go to the, dare we say, 10th. Curveball ripped into center field. This could be it, giving a chase, though, as Lindquist, he makes the catch. And we're going to the 10th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left on. Can you stand anymore? We take a break as we move to the 10th. Still tied at 3. Of course, our great crew has had a long day doing an outstanding job today in the truck. Here's Zadina. First pitch misses low. He's popped up twice, sacrificed, and struck out, so he's 0 for 3.
Well, you have to remember the crew has to get out here 2.5 hours before the game, Ed. This has almost turned into an 8-hour day for them.
Looks at the next pitch low. Zadina might be taking all the way here until he gets one. Nubs one foul as he does go after it, and it goes out of play. Well, you got the heart of the order up, so Coach A lets him swing away.
I admire his aggressiveness here. Usually the textbook would say take till you get a strike, but going at him aggressively.
Pops that one up. Shallow in the infield. Stallings makes the call, makes the catch for out number 1. 1 out of the inning, and here comes Vittori. What a job he has done on the mound as he strides to the plate. On the day, has flied out, singled, struck out, and popped up. 1 out of 4. Extra innings here in the 10th. Well, what a great job by both teams. This is the one where you almost hate to say somebody's got to lose. Breaking ball, and that's over for a called strike. Maselli's been able to mix his pitches pretty well here. Missing low for a ball. It is 1-1. Crowd's kind of settled down here a little bit for now. Missing low for a ball.
We'd really love to see this guy get on. I believe it's 2-1 here, Ed. The way he's pitched today.
Breaking ball, and one that Vittori would love to have back for a strike. That evens the count at 2-2. One out, nobody on, top of the 10th. Sidearm delivery, and it bounces away. It's a full count. Must be something in the water at Central. All the pitchers go to that 3/4 delivery. For the most part, though, it's been effective.
Almost sidearm with a couple of them, too. It's been able to get the batters out, though, for Mainland.
Keep in mind, too, Vittori gets on base. He has 24 stolen bases, although he was caught stealing today on a controversial play. Fastball lined into left center field. This could find some space, going way back. It bounces in for extra bases. Taking the turn is Vittori. He will roll into second with a stand-up double.
The heads-up play by Vittori to stop at second base. I think he had visions of going to third there. Not the last thing you want in that situation. Got the fastball, Ed. Crushed it a ton into left field, and right now, he's the lead run in the game with 1 out.
And the Mainland side comes to life. Vittori at second. You see him right there. Just 1 out. There's the play again.
It's a couple hops to the fence. Now, at this point, he's thinking about going to third, and then he just said, nah, better not.
Al Barcerski's turn. He has flied out, singled, been hit by a pitch and walked, so he's been on base 3 times. Officially 1 for 2 in the books. 3-3, top of the 10th. Breaking ball, missing outside, 1-0.
You're looking at the 2 best home run hitters now for Maine. Balcerski with 4, Granieri on deck with 6. First pitch fastball for the curveball the last couple batters. Second pitch has been a fastball.
Breaking ball, just missed. 2-0.
Well, I think he might get the green light here, Ed. Let one loose.
Vittori has to be heads up here. If the ball gets by the catcher, Norton, he'll be going for third. There it goes on a nice scoop by Norton, although that's ball 3. Great play by the catcher. 3-0 the count. Do you light him here?
I'd let him go. It's got to be a perfect pitch.
Over for a called strike. He does have 3 home runs on the year. Didn't like that pitch, even if he was taking all the way or had the option. Good decision right there.
You never want to swing a curveball in that situation.
Chases the high pitch, chops it down to third. Nye knocks it down, makes the long high throw to first. Runner safe. Here goes Vittori to third. He's safe. Second error of the game. Runners at the corners for Mainland.
Would have been close at first, but Taha had to come off the bag to make the catch. Now we might get a little bit of a discussion at first base. His coach is out to talk things over with the umpire. That is a real close play. Here it is again. Here's Nye at third. Now let's see if he lands on the bag, Ed. Got the ball right there. He's still up in the air. The runner tags the bag. Good call by the official there. The umpire got that one right, Ed. Good job.
Excellent call. He beat it by about half a step. We got a great look at it. Another outstanding look by our guys in the truck. Great job on that second look. So first and third, 1 out, and here comes Graneri. They might want to walk him here to load the bases and set up the force.
Well, they bring the infield in, and there's the reaction shot for you there. The infield is in on the grass, so really all Graneri has to do, he wants to hit a ball hard. If he can get the ball to the outfield, they'll send in for Turi from third.
The ump was signaling like he said the kid was off.
So you got a great second look at it. Mainland has a runner at third. The runner at first is Balcerski. You wonder if he probably will not go here, though. If he does get the throw down to second, it could bring the runner home. He's probably staying put. And that one is ripped into center field. That'll get the go-ahead run home. Gorman squeezes. Vittori tags. Heading for the plate. He scores. Mainland leads it 4-3.
Fitting that Vittori, who's pitched 9 innings, scores the run. He's got 3 more outs to get to win the championship. Great piece of hitting though by Graneri. Got the fastball right down the middle, crushed it into center field.
2 outs in the inning, and here comes Giuliano. A single, grounded out, flied out, and reached on a fielder's choice. Breaking ball bounces low. 1-0 the count. Mainland's still looking for more here. And keep in mind, as well as Vittori's pitch, he'll be going into his 10th inning next inning. That's tough. Mainland would love to give him a little insurance. Fastball swung on and missed. It's 1-1.
Here we go again on that play to the plate. Great hustling job by Vittori as he comes in and scores. Is that the championship run? Stay tuned.
Popped up, that'll go foul out of play. It's 1-2. Balcerski, even with 2 outs, although he has 3 stolen bases, probably staying put here. So 1-2 the count to Giuliano. 4-3, Mainland has taken the lead here in the 10th. Just missed, not by much. 2-2.
Tough pitch to take.
Breaking ball gets away, and now Balcerski's going to move up to second with the count now 3-2. As he's in position to score again. So 3-2 the count now to Giuliano. Runner at second base is Balcerski. 2 outs in the inning, a run across. Fastball on the outside corner struck him out to end the inning, but Mainland takes the lead on a run with a hit and 1 error. We will step aside and take a break. The bottom of the 10th we go. Mainland 4, Central 3. Stay with us. Well, fasten your seatbelts and hang on to something. We move to the bottom of the 10th. Mainland has taken a 4-3 lead over Central. The Golden Eagles trying to rally. Mainland looking for their first ever championship. They are 3 outs away.
Do I have 3 outs in me? That's what Frank Vittori's asking himself right now.
He's got a tough out to start with. Jesse Gorman has grounded out once, hit into a double play twice, and walked 0 for 3. Low for a ball, 1-0.
And keep in mind, this is the 10th inning that Pretori's pitched, so this is it for him. He knows after this inning, should they tie it, he's done.
That one ripped high into the air in center field. This should be an easy play for Lindquist. Out number 1 in the 10th, and that's a big one.
Yeah, because usually if you're going to manufacture a run, you're going to do it with the first runner getting on. Pretty good cut there by Gorman, but just got under it.
Frank Primicelli up next, and Gorman, boy, a good hitter that he is for Mainland to hold him 0 for 4. It's a great job by Fattori. Primicelli is flied out, walked, flied out again, and popped up. 0 for 3. Lifts that one into shallow center field. Lindquist coming hard, and it's caught by second baseman Jonick for out number 2. Make that Lindquist, excuse me.
Lindquist just took control there, Ed. The last second called him off, and Mainland is 1 out away from their first championship ever.
2 up, 2 down. Here comes Scott Taylor trying to keep the game alive for Central. He is 0 for 3. He has also walked today.
Do I have one more out in me?
So far, somebody's listened to him. Low, 1-0. Everybody on their feet on the Mainland dugout, most of the crowd as well. Over for a strike, 1-1. Ground ball up the middle, that's in for a base hit, so Taylor keeps his team alive with 2 outs. He is the tying run at first base.
It's been a crazy afternoon, Ed. Central said we're not done yet. Good job there, not giving up by Taylor. Just hit it right back up the middle, went behind Fattori's back.
That is the 6th hit, just the 6th hit, given up by Fattori today. Taylor at first base, 2 out, and here's Chris Nye. He's popped up, sacrificed, singled, and flied out. Officially 1 out of 3. Over for a called strike, 0-1.
Coaching staff for Mainland waving in the outfielders about 3 or 4 steps on that last pitch.
Mainland trying to end the Cape Atlantic's jinx. No public championships for the Cape since 1983, as now Fattori steps off. What a great game between these two teams. They both deserve to be called champions. Only one of them is going to get that title. Fastball missing low, 1-1. Fastball foul tipped, 1-2 to Nye. Nubbed, third base side. Zadina looking back, and they make the catch, and for the first time ever, Mainland wins the Group 3 championship.
Ed, I would hug that guy too after this. The pitching performance he gave today, 10 innings, 6 hits, scored the winning run. What else can you do?
This was high school baseball at its absolute finest today. You could not have asked for a better championship game between two outstanding teams, and it goes to Mainland 4-3. That is one of the many stars we're going to hear from in our postgame as we watch the Mustangs high-stepping it off the handshakes as they're going to whoop it up their first ever championship, the Cape's first in a public league situation since 1983, and they really had to earn it against a gutty Central Regional squad.
And that was as fun a celebration as I think we've ever seen. Couple nice football tackles going on there. Hugs a celebration. You just have to be thrilled to death for this Mainland team. And your heart has to go out to the Central guys, Ed. They played as hard as you could for 10 innings and just came up 1 run short.
Well, we'll let the Mustangs celebrate, and as they do, we will step aside for a quick break. Here they are, the new champions of South Jersey Group 3, the Mainland Mustangs. And they had to earn it today in a classic as they had Central Regional in 10 innings by a score of 4-3. There are a lot of heroes standing around right here. We'll get to the pitcher right here. First of all, Frank Vittori also delivers with the big hit in extra innings. Frank, first of all, how much did you have left when you went to the mound in the 10th inning?
Well, usually my arm hurts first pitch of the game, but today, after third inning, it just got numb, so I wasn't really thinking about anything.
Now, I know you didn't expect to go 10 innings today, but was it basically a case of the beginning of the day where they said, look, it's your game to lose, you're going as long as you can?
Well, my Coach Haig has a lot of faith in me and a lot of faith in the team, and whatever happens, happens. Today, I had this, I was didn't throw strikes early, but as soon as I started throwing strikes, I just had to go for the team, for Mainland and for the Cape Atlantic.
Is that extra sweet to a little motivation? Your conference, a lot of people say, well, how good is the Cape Atlantic? You hadn't won a public league title in 16 years. You guys bring it home for the first time. Did that help motivate you, too, on this run?
I don't know about that. We're a team in ourselves, Mainland. Who cares about everybody else? But, we're the team, man. Nobody can beat us.
Finally, would you be kind enough to tell us, we saw you kneeling several times, and just gathering your thoughts, would you like to reveal what you said at all?
A Lady of Victory, pray for us.
It worked. It worked. Let's bring on another one of your teammates here. Congratulations. Mike Ranieri is going to come up here. Game-winning RBI in the 10th inning. Tell us about the pitch you hit, which brought home the winning run.
Just a fastball. I knew Frank was on third. He's got a lot of speed. I said hit the ball in the outfield. I lost my voice. I'm sorry. I said hit the ball in the outfield and he would score, and that's what I did.
You're certainly excused, first of all, for losing your voice for the way this game went today. It's a tough after such a big win against Toms River South. We know this is the championship game, but when you win a game like that, is it tough to come in and maybe not have a letdown in a game like this?
Sure. I don't know.
He lost his voice. He needed to gather his thoughts, too.
Mainland, I don't know. We won it for the coach. Best team in Mainland history. I know Alex right here. He hasn't won a championship in anything, and we did it for him. We did it for the seniors. They're not coming back next year, and that's why we won it.
How much did you getting to this title game last year and losing to a good Toms River South team, the experience of going to the finals, help you as far as keeping relaxed in a game like this today?
Well, I was relaxed from football, that, and experience from that. And I don't really get that nervous. And last year it helped me a lot. I got a double last year. That was pretty good.
Well, congratulations. We're going to bring in Coach Gary Hay right here. What a game. What a season. I thought, Coach, I know when we were talking before today, you thought you had seen it all against Toms River South. Did you ever think you could top it with something like this?
Well, I kind of thought it would be a tough game. I thought it would be more runs scored. I really did. I thought we might have had to score maybe eight or 9 runs to win the ball game. But as the game went along, and the way we've been talking all week about the little things, we have to do the little things on defense and make the plays and concentrate and focus. And when we're in those tough situations, I think that's what they try to start to think about. And I think it worked. When we went over this during the week, I thought that the kids were really, especially the Toms River South game. Defensively we played just one well of the game, and it just carried over. Against Cumberland we were down, and we came back against Cumberland, and this ball game it was just like a roller coaster, that type of thing. So defensively I think that's what won the ball game, and Frank Vittori did a hell of a job today.
As you got to the 8th of the 9th, were there any thoughts about taking him out, or was it his game to go, even as long as it was his 10 innings allowed to lose or win?
Yes, no doubt about it. It was Frank. We talked about it. Coach Krockenberg and I talked about it, and it was his game to win or lose, definitely. He's a senior. The seniors, we have 5 seniors on the club this year, and they let us to 20 wins. The tops of our, we've never had 20 wins at Mainland. So, you know, I really bow down to the seniors. I thought they did a great job all year. They kept us together. Good leaders. Frank Vittori's a 4-year varsity player, the only 4-year varsity player we've had. Just a super competitor. And the other seniors, Chris Jonick and Joe Carver, Sedina, I mean, just did an unbelievable job. I mean, those seniors are, you know, I can't say more about our seniors. And I'm real happy about them. So, you know, it was just a great win.
Is this extra satisfying for those who say, well, maybe the Cape Atlantic isn't as strong as a lot of people think?
You know, who says that stuff? It's, you know, you look at our league with Millville and Vineland and EHT and Holy Spirit. How can they say, you know, we don't play good baseball? I mean, those teams are good baseball teams year in and year out. We've become a good baseball team, and you see what took place today.
Well, Coach, I don't know if we can get any more heart-stopping, but you got a state semifinal game to get ready for next week. Congratulations to you and your team. It was a pleasure coming up here, and really one of the best games we've ever seen. A great job.
Mustangs against the world, baby!
The champs have spoken. South Jersey Group 3 champions, the Mainland Mustangs. Now they get ready to play for a state title as soon as they come down to earth a little bit. Congratulations, Mustangs. Back to Tad we go for some final thoughts.
Thanks again, Andy. A tremendous win for Mainland as you see the crowd gathering around, all the parents and friends. Mainland wins their first ever South Jersey title in a score of 4-3 in 10 innings in a just incredible game. Frank Vittori got the win. He is now 6-1. The loss went to Frank Primicelli. He drops his record to 6-3.